afternoon, depending on where you're at. Welcome to TPK's Breakfast of Champions One Shot. This morning, our adventurers, the ones you see on your screen, are going to be wandering through the realm on a mission. Their friend Sir Charms has gone missing, and, well, so have bits of their memory. They're going to be working their way through the mission and seeing where the morning takes them. So go ahead and grab a cup of coffee and a bowl of your favorite breakfast cereal as we settle in for a tale of nostalgia based loosely off of The Last Bite by Corey Kurosik. And Corey, if you ever see this, I'm sorry ahead of time for what we're about to do to your lovely adventure. So I'll go ahead and start to introduce our players. I'm Chrissy, I'm your GM for the day, and we'll start with Al.
Hello folks, it's me, Al the Biffer, back again. I'll be playing everyone's favourite Leonin Bard, Tony. I'll hand it over to Ben.
Hello everyone, they call me Ben, and I will be playing the Honeymaster. For those of our transatlantic cousins, Google Honey Monster, not the one from Fallout.
I'm Gorad. I'll be playing Snap, Crackle, and Pop. Yeah, this is my first time here. Very, very excited for this. Over to Sable.
Hey everybody, Sable Brave here. I'm playing Mr. Wonderful, and I'm a discontinued serial mascot, first time on the channel, and I hope you guys have fun with us today.
Hello everybody, I am Kohlrabi, and I am playing Toucan Slam, the Wild Magic Barbarian, and I've been here a couple times, I guess.
Right, so we are starting our adventure in the town of Kell. It is the day of the yearly timber festival, and it is awaited by all. Lumberjacks lay down their axes, shops close, and the entire town gathers at the Post Mill Tavern for a day of joy, celebration, and drinking. But this is not that day. This is the day after that day. And the day after the Timber Festival is when you guys find yourselves waking up haphazardly asleep in various spots in or around the Post Mill Tavern. Maybe you're asleep in a bed that you managed to rent out upstairs, or maybe you fell asleep in a seat you ended the evening in. But you wake up tired, hungover, and confused at some of the events from the night before. Casks of brewberry wine surround you, and hell, maybe you're waking up with a young maiden on your arm. Quite frankly, the whole night is kind of a blur after a certain point. Your memories being hazy, you think you remember seeing Sir Charms. He's a small leprechaun, you have a memory of it, kind of? You didn't make a deal with him, did you? Shit, I think you did. But why can't you remember anything? As the morning starts moving, the barkeep, a human you all know as Parma Violet, starts cleaning up the mess left behind from the night before. She moves swiftly and quickly, a familiarity in her movement showing that she's survived a timber festival or two in her day. And as she sees people starting to wake up, and she sees a couple of you maybe meandering about the tavern, I'm going to turn it all over to you guys to tell me and the rest of the viewers, how does the day after the Timber Festival start for you? We'll start with Al.
So Tony wakes up, stretches his great feline body, and gives a great as he blinks and looks around the comfortable bedroom he finds himself in, and realizes he's upstairs in the tavern, and he feels something prickly against his body. And he looks down, and tucked into the nook of his arm on one side is one of the Kettering sisters, Wheat, and on the other side, Bix. Oh, not again. Oh dear, thinks Tony, as he has to try and slide out of this very dry situation and sneak his way downstairs, not to wake up Wheat and Bix.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Oh no. I'll give it a roll. I'm sure everything will be just fine. Oh, it's a dirty 20.
Okay, dirty 20. You definitely managed to, very slyly, in that very feline way, get yourself out of the predicament you're currently in, if that's what you want to call it. All right, next up. I think
So-
that's Ben. Yep.
A figure sits in the lotus position on the roof of a nearby building, bathing in the rejuvenating light of the morning sun. Through meditation and inner strength, it is banishing the poison of alcohol from its body. It's 8 feet tall and almost as wide, and covered in thick yellow fur. It has a wide, lipless mouth and small brown eyes, soft with ancient wisdom. It wears an undyed linen robe, and over its shoulder is slung a leather hand-stitched bag. It has a long staff of gnarled wood strapped to its back. This is the traditional garb of an order of monks who contemplate the natural world and hone their bodies and minds to be in harmony with the cosmos. They are known only as the Honeymasters.
All right, next up.
So, Snap wakes up under the table in the tavern, looks down at his long coat and realizes Crackle and Pop. Crackle and Pop aren't here. Where are we? Where spots them. A few tables over, tucked underneath, fast asleep. Calls out to them. Crispy boys! Crispy boys! They rear their heads. Realize they're not in their coat. And try and hurriedly get over there without anyone noticing that the crispy boys are separated.
Are you
You
trying
try
to
and rush.
stealth that? Making sure nobody sees you?
Stealth for
Yeah.
12 for Pop. And a 19 for Crackle.
Okay. I'll say you pretty successfully manage. Everyone's still pretty hazy from the night before, so they don't quite catch you as you guys scramble to meet up. All right, Sable, you're next.
So, laying on the table in the bar, Mr. Wonderful's face is pressed against the hard, unrefined wood of the table as he kind of pushes off, and he just goes, I gotta lay off the giggle water. He looks around and he sees the barmaid picking up, and he gets a look at her, and then he looks over at his companion to the left that he was drinking with the previous night, and he kind of like elbows him. He's completely unconscious, but he goes, get a load of the gams on that one. Her legs are like the stock market. They go up, up, up forever.
Are you saying this loud enough for Parma to hear you?
Yes.
She is going to shoot you the nastiest look as you say these things and just kind of ignore it, but she has definitely heard you.
He just kind of shoots her finger guns, and he gets to like picking up his little area.
Great.
Oh, all right. Toucan Slam is 100% on his back in a table smashed in half. His large giant spoon to his side, and he wakes up. Oh bother. Oh. That was a long night, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna recover from this one. Oh, what's going on?
All right. So as you guys all come together in the tavern, Parma sees all of you. She recognizes all of you. You guys are familiar faces to everybody around town, because this town seems to just kind of be like a retirement village for various serial mascots. So, it's not abnormal for them to see folks like you coming through the town and hanging out. She comes over and she has a couple of casks of, hair of the dog, a few casks of rhueberry wine. And she just very politely, well, gentlemen, anything else? I can have the chef cook you up something for breakfast if you'd like.
Yeah. I need another ale, please.
Okay, I'll bring extras. Anyone else want anything?
The honey monster looms over the bar and says, mead.
She will take you in as like a hulking creature and just go, of course, sure, and reach back behind to like grab a different cask. So
At this point, Tony's like slunk his way downstairs and kind of arrives at everyone else and's like, "Morning, everyone. Are we ready for a day?" And then just pulls a weights out of nowhere and just starts pumping some sweet Ron.
Oh, Tony, calm down, please. It's too early.
What are you talking about, Slam? I think we're ready for a wrestle, don't you think?
True strength come from within.
Tony, you gotta stop. Cut the gas, Tony. You're too loud in the morning.
Well, in that case, I think I fancy a nice bowl of sugar.
I could go for that too. Also, I just want to say that I had a different voice for this character, but this is just on my Adam's apple, and I cannot do it with this on.
So as you guys all kind of gather around one of the not broken tables from Toucan getting rowdy last night, Parma will bring over the casks of mead, a few extra casks of ale, and she will bring out a few bowls of oatmeal. She sets them out and says, listen guys, sorry to tell you, but cereal's kind of starting to run dry around here. I know you had a conversation last night, if you remember, with Charms. He was on the hunt for something, but I mean, this is what we've got. We don't have any cereal.
This is a disgrace.
Oh, applesauce.
We beg you, what's it?
The honey monster, he understands that sometimes suffering will inevitably occur, and it's not about avoiding suffering, but about accepting it into us when it happens. So he makes do with the oatmeal, and not every breakfast, he tells himself, can be a vessel for sweetness. Sometimes it must be something to be endured.
This guy's a wet blanket.
So she'll set the bowls out in front of you, and looking down at these bowls of oatmeal, it looks like gruel. It does not look good at all. It is very plain, just no good whatsoever. And you guys, you eat your breakfast, and she says, oh, by the way, it's going to take a group of skilled adventurers to really take on a mission like the one that Sir Charms was talking about last night. He left this map for you and a couple of other things, and she kind of in the center of the table tosses a bag.
Hold on. And Toucan Slam will reach into his feathers and pull out a really big, bag of white powder. And he'll just take it and just sprinkle it all over the oatmeal, just dump it on the oatmeal, and then... That's better.
That's doping.
So you guys finish your breakfast, and you have in front of you a bag, and you guys all realize, if somebody wants to roll on history or perception or something along those lines, whatever you guys would like, I'll let you guys do it as a group, to kind of put a couple of pieces together as to what really happened with Charms.
I got an 18 for history.
18.
I've been around the block,
Anyone else?
The honey monster. Yeah, the honey master is really bad at all those things.
Yeah, same. All three.
Okay. All right. Sure. All right. So
That's a good idea.
yeah, Mr. Wonderful, as you're sitting there, you get as she's talking about this mission and the whole 9 yards, you're like, oh, that's right. And out of your pocket, you pull a small bag, and it has in it some gold, and a couple of Lucky Charms. There's some marshmallows in there, a few extra things, and in it there is a small scroll, and you guys all have the same matching one, but there's something written on it. What languages do you guys speak?
It's a good question.
Sylvan, common, and deep speech.
Yeah, Honeymaster has Sylvan and Common.
Okay.
Aarakocra, Arin, and Common.
Dwarven, Halfling, Common, and Giant.
Common and Leonin.
Common, Deep Speech, and Sylvan.
Right. So, Honey Monster, you recognize this writing immediately. It is in Sylvan. And it says, and I'll copy it into the Discord so you guys have it, but it says, a strange curse fell last cold winter night, a bad omen for certain to start this day right. Gather your rations, wipe the frost from your plate. You must perform well, not good, but great. To undo all this, the golden box holds the prize. Your belly of breakfast must last till the night, for when the moon rises, you'll have your last bite.
So the Honeymaster relays this to those who do not speak the tongue of the trees and contemplates it silently.
Well, doesn't that just give me the heebie-jeebies?
What was that all about, Mr. Wonderful? Put it into simple terms for us, please.
Well, let me take a look at it one more time. Let's see. A strange curse, cold winter night, bad omen. Yeah, that's horrible. Definitely heebie-jeebies right there. Perform well. Rub your belly for breakfast. Yes, till the moon. You know what? This sounds like complete gibberish. He was definitely drunk when we were doing this. I'm pretty sure I saw him drinking a lot of stuff.
The Honeymaster wonders if the golden box is friendship, or that was within us all along, or if it's an actual physical box that is golden.
You do know it as an actual physical box. As a monk, you would know it as a religious relic.
I see. I do have. I am okay at religion. Yes. What does the Honeymaster know about this box, or does he need to delve deep within his resources of wisdom?
If you want to do a religion check just to get more information, but you do know it as a religious icon or a religious relic of various serial mascots, and it's just kind of like the Zeus of all serial mascots. It's kind of like the thing that you guys all recognize or would know as, if you are religious, it is said to hold kind of the holy grail of things for serial mascots.
Well, with an epic 3, the Honeymaster knows no more than this.
Yeah.
Such as apparently where it is, which might be quite relevant.
Yeah, and on that note, you kind of start digging through the bag. You guys find inside a map, a very haphazardly drawn map. And the map is of the Honeyroot Woods, the woods that you guys are familiar with outside of the town of Kell. But sections of the map are just missing. And then there's a small journal.
Mr. Wonderful opens up the small journal and just starts skimming through it. What does he see?
So you definitely see a couple of different riddles.
Oh, applesauce.
The Honeymaster likes riddles.
We're not very smart at riddles.
It's one of the many ways in which he hones his mind.
Well, honey, here you go. It's a fun little gift. Don't they ever don't do anything for you? Here you go.
Yeah.
Well,
So do you guys...
Seems like we have an adventure. It's been a long time since we've been on one. What do you say?
We're coming out of retirement for one last job, you mean?
I think so.
Wow. Well, let's
And
keep
how?
Hunger locked up till lunch.
And open my coat a bit, look down, and sort of nod my head. We're in.
What do you mean you were?
All right.
And sort of
So
scurry away.
as you guys are sitting there, Parma kind of comes over and she points down to the map and she goes, "Oh, hey, Charms, he was talking about this with the Bard last night, this map. He's at the shop in town. He gave him something that has to do with that map. And she just kind of like looks off like she's trying to remember. She's like, fuck, last night was rough. Like, as if she is also experiencing this kind of memory loss of whatever happened last night.
Well, it may have been rough, but you don't look like no ragamuffin that I've ever seen. You're looking great.
Jesus Christ. She'll just walk away.
I think she likes me.
Yeah, Mr. Wonderful, you are a piece of work.
I blame my generation.
Oy vey.
Discontinued for a reason.
Less discontinued, more cancelled.
So, you guys have a haphazardly made map if somebody wants to inspect it or do a perception check, investigate it, whatever you'd like.
What am I actually good at? None of that, but if we're ever out in the wild, let me know.
Which one of us was the last to see old Lucky Charms last night?
That is a good question.
Everyone would roll me. I'll do perception on this to kind of perception or history. If you were better or worse at one or the other.
I rolled a 21.
Honey Monster makes up for his previous failures with a 21.
13 in history.
It was Snap's go. He got a 6.
You got a 13.
Okay, so with everybody, for the most part, as you guys are sitting there talking, you're, filling up on breakfast, the hair of the dog is starting to kick in, you're getting a little bit more clear on how the night went. You guys definitely have memories of Charms coming up to you, kind of fanatically showing you things in his journal and like pointing to them. And he had a quill in his hand and he was underlining certain things. And he was kind of just fanatically running around. And Honey Monster, I'll say you remember very well him explaining, honey, I swear, there is somebody out there.
Please do not call Honey.
Okay.
Honey Master.
Okay, just listen for a second, Honeymaster. Shit. And he's just like frantically, you can have this memory of him like trying to explain to you, somebody is kidnapping us one at a time. They're picking us off. Have you seen anybody else? Have you seen the rabbit? Have you seen the Cheerios bee? Where are we all going? You guys are in danger, and either you get proactive. I can't do this. I can't do this alone. I've got to go hide. I've got to figure this out. And that's like the flash of memory you have. And he definitely cornered all of you and attempted to have the same conversation with every single one of you.
The Honey Master will pick up the journal and turn to the pages that seem to be so interesting to Sir Charms.
Yeah. So there are certain bits of this journal that are missing just as much as the map as you start to inspect it.
Let me know when we're ready to hit some shit, and I'll be ready. But I'm not reading or following a map.
Do any of the riddles remain that he's kind of underlined and pointed out?
No, as of right now, the riddles are missing sections, they're missing words. You can tell that you wouldn't be able to figure it out, as if there's like something missing to figure it out.
Is it like just not written there, or there are like pages and bits of it like torn out?
It is just not written in there. So you can tell that when you were talking to him, it was written in there. You have a vivid memory of seeing the words on the page. But when you are looking at it, it is not there.
Right. Who did Miss Violet's mention was at the general store in town?
Flynn the Bard.
We make our way over to Flynn the Bard.
I think we should ask this guy
There's
what's
no
going
time
on.
to spare. The last
Tony,
thing we
do you
need is
know
more
Flynn?
mascots disappearing off into the mists.
Tony, you friends with this chap?
I'm friends with everyone.
Of course.
That's what I heard too.
Yeah, Tony, you definitely, you and Flynn have probably done some shows together. There's probably some history of entertaining together on stages in various places around town for sure.
Of course, my motivational speeches are renowned throughout the lands.
So you guys are heading to the general store? Do you want to do anything else in the tavern before you go?
Technically, in the tavern, we do have a good table if you want to roll a good
sure.
table.
Yeah, if somebody wants to roll a d10.
Oh, applesauce.
I've got a 3.
A 3? All right, so Ben, that is you. And can you roll me a d100?
100.
Ooh.
It is a 30.
30. All right.
Thank goodness. Probably.
Terrifying.
So, as you are kind of meditating, taking in everything, looking at the journal, everything, out of the back, as you open it up, a small little figurine from the bag kind of just falls out and drops in your lap. And it is an onyx dog statue.
Excellent.
And if you want, I can send you the info for the...
Cool. It's a figurine of wondrous power. You go dog on or something, and it turns into a dog for an hour, I think.
Dog on.
Now that's what I call a cereal prize.
Dog, activate.
Yep.
So
And what I hate about this chat is that right as the game started, Tony the Tiger said, "Time to get some pets," and that's what.
I sure
just
hope
rolled.
it's the pet store.
So
are you guys telling me that there's no cereal left in this entire tavern? No sugary breakfast goodness at all?
Looks like we're all out of luck. And cereal.
Parma will kind of look at you guys, and she's gonna kind of say, "This has been happening for weeks. I mean, I haven't seen some of you. Usually the mascots are in and out of here a lot, and it's been pretty quiet recently."
This is a travesty.
And she's like, "Try being the one serving this stuff. People hate it."
Well, you just need some extra bags of sugar.
Or some giggle water as milk.
That too.
So are you guys heading out of town or out towards town?
I'm gonna go step outside and get some fresh air.
Mhm. I think the Honeymaster will be heading towards the general store.
Okay.
We will also join.
I'll stand
The sooner
outside.
I leave the direct vicinity of the Kettering sisters is better, I believe.
What makes it better?
Tony, you wildcat.
Pleasures of flesh, fleeting, yet inner knowledge, forever.
Well,
Nevertheless, still would.
it's going to taste great.
Oh my god.
Oh God.
That's a different kind of sugar than I am used to dealing with. It's not really my style.
Wow. All right.
Well.
We keep
Not the kind
ourselves
that turns the
entertained.
milk chocolatey.
Isn't that just the cat's meow?
I'm just gonna grab my spoon and I'll wait outside for the rest of you. And he'll pick up his giant spoon and just stand outside in the middle of the street waiting.
I'll follow you.
Yeah. So as you guys walk out, you are from this town. It's very familiar to you. As you're heading in, you see a couple of different stores, but you definitely catch notice of Flynn the Bard. He's outside, kind of turning over an open sign. You can see him kind of getting in the front of the store ready, and the sign above the door says, "A flay's open." And he's just getting the shop ready.
I want to walk up to him, and Mr. Wonderful would like to go, "Well, Flynn, how you doing, buddy? Have you seen our pal, Mr. Charms?"
And he'll kind of like look over his shoulder at you as he's like kind of organizing some stuff outside of the store and just kind of getting everything in order. Yeah. He was frantic last night. He was absolutely frantic. He's convinced that, the mascots are going missing. I mean,
So
I
you're
guess
saying somebody is bumping them off?
well, I mean, I hope not, but that's what Charms thinks.
You had a pause in there that was rather unfortunate. I'm glad that you continued your sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still pretty hungover, and you're really intimidating.
Thanks.
And he's like getting more uncomfortable, and you can see that like the natural bardic side you would expect is for some reason not there.
I want to roll an insight.
Go for it.
Sounds like a vibe check.
It does sound like a vibe check.
16.
16. Yeah, he's definitely being sketchy right now.
I got this, guys. Don't worry. I would like to cast Charm Person.
Okay. All right. Does he have to save on that, or is there any sort of anything for him to roll?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom
And
saving.
I have a DC 15.
Ooh, okay.
You're about to be not so lucky, punk.
So he rolled a natural 17.
Maybe you are lucky.
Don't forget my wild magic.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So,
Is where it rains frogs or something.
3 fireballs on person.
go ahead and, Mr. Wonderful, roll your D100, right? Or do you have to roll a D20 to see if you get a 1? That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see here. A D20. Roll. A 3.
3. All right. So nothing happens with your wild magic, but as you cast this, you can see his eyes kind of glaze over, and he kind of shakes it off and looks at you, and he's like, "What the fuck, man? Come on."
Plenty.
Seriously?
Toucan?
Yeah.
Go get him.
You might be able to get out of that one, but I don't think you'll be able to get out of these feathers. And he'll flex his feathers. So how about you just give it to us straight?
Yeah, or my big guy here will kick your ass.
Roll an intimidation.
I don't know if I even made myself proficient in intimidation. I sure didn't.
Oh Lord.
That is an 18 though.
Okay, yeah. I'll contest it, but his natural charisma and intelligence, that's not... We're good. We're good on that. So he kind of gives a what the fuck over to Mr. Wonderful, and then as you kind of step up in front of Mr. Wonderful and flex on him a little bit, his eyes get huge and he's like, "All right, man, calm down. Can we at least go inside? Do we have to do this in front of everybody?"
Yeah, we're gonna have to do it right here, or else he's gonna bash your head through the windshield.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
All
Good
right.
talking.
All right. Jesus Christ, it's too early and I'm too hungover for this. And he's like,
Who is Jesus Christ of whom you speak?
and he just looks at you for a second.
Oh,
Listen.
the sweet Lord Jesus, right? He must be full of sugar.
All right, guys, listen. Charms talked to me last night a lot, and I thought he was just drunk rambling. He does that sometimes, and he speaks in riddles, and he always has gold on him. I might have swiped a few things from him before he ran off last night. I wasn't trying to do anything that sketchy. He was drunk. I was drunk. I figured, might as well. Listen, here, this is what I got. And out of like his side pocket, he's gonna pull out a quill and a handful of gold. And he will hand them over to Mr. Wonderful or to Toucan Slam, whoever takes them.
I don't have opposable thumbs. Give them to Mr. Wonderful.
Don't worry, buddy. I got you.
He'll hand him over to Mr. Wonderful, and he'll kind of put his hands up. Listen, guys, I wasn't looking for trouble. I was just looking to make some extra money. I figured I could sell some of his stuff, get some of his gold.
Well,
he just throws that gold around all the time.
Well, ain't that a bite that you're gonna steal from someone as nice as Mr. Charms? You know what? You lucky that he ain't here right now, or I would have my big guy here throw you through the windshield.
Windshield?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He's from a different time and place. It makes sense, but what I would say is I'm quite tempted to see what a spoonful of you tastes like.
His eyes will go large, and he's like taking complete, like he's like, nope, giving up. I'm not trying to fight you. But as you say, like, I'm gonna take a piece of you or a bite of you, however you've worded it, he definitely, as he shifts, like moves a hand to his waist, and you can see a dagger.
And I thought he was flirting with him.
I mean, if you're
there's
rolling
a fine
for
line
that...
of threat and flirt.
Yeah.
Is this all you have and all the information you have to give?
Yeah, man. I'm not trying, but if we have to, we have to.
Oh, I don't think you want to step there, so we'll just leave this where it is.
And he'll kind of just like roll his eyes and walk into the store.
Can you believe the nerve of some people stealing? What's wrong with these folks? I blame media.
They missed a balanced breakfast for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as you guys get the quill and the gold, you can kind of, for those of you who are magic users, if you want to roll an Arcana check.
Oh boy.
I mean, we're all magic of some kind, right?
Oh!
Because 3 of us are wild magic.
Correct.
A 18.
An 18.
Luckily, my mage actually gets to do this.
I've also got an 18.
I got 14.
14? Okay.
Yeah, how many of us are wild magic? It's 3, right?
3 of us, yeah.
Including the barbarian.
Correct. So as you guys kind of check out this quill and the gold, you definitely see that, like, to access any of the things that are in the book, you needed the quill for sure. That was the missing piece. So as you kind of get them together, you definitely start to see some of the words forming just very quickly in Sir Charm's kind of calligraphy scroll. He definitely had magically kind of, I don't want to use the word locked, but kind of like magically imbued everything so that not everybody could access it if they so chose.
Oh.
So on the first page, you will see it says, and I'll copy this into chat as well, or into our message, but you're rummaging around your mother's kitchen when you find 5 short chains, each made of 4 Fruit Loop links. It occurs to you that if you combine them into one big loop of 20 links, you'd have an incredible necklace. So you bring it to the cereal jeweler in town, who tells you that the cost of making the necklace will be 10 cereal box tops for each Fruit Loop link that she has to break and then remake. How many box tops will it cost?
Mr. Wonderful, I think this is your area. Or should we get the Honeymaster?
No, I got this. Let me look at this. Rummaging through your mother's kitchen. Yeah. One big loop of 20 links. Yeah. It's been a while since I was at the academy.
The
Mathematics.
The Honeymaster takes a small bronze bowl from his satchel, places it on the floor, sits again in the lotus position, and with a tiny bronze striker, hits the rim of the bowl and contemplates the ringing of the bowl for a good 30, 40 seconds before the sound peters out. And eventually he says, maybe 5 or 4.
Let's see. That might be an idea. Do I gotta write it down? Is this a math prep? He takes the quill and he writes 5, and then he scribbles that out real quick and he writes 4.
Okay, you're writing it right into the journal?
Yeah.
So as you write 5 and then you scribble it out and you write 4?
The honey monster suddenly feels a tremendous sense of responsibility.
Nothing happens. You look in the journal, none of the other pages. This is strange.
Can I make an insight check on the journal?
Absolutely, sure.
See if I can determine.
Oops, sorry, 40. Forget to read question.
Well, honey, now I look like an idiot.
23.
23? Yeah, so the journal will change as you write the correct answer in there. You know that it's not trying to trick you. It's not trying to do anything. It is just waiting for the correct answer.
Now that Honey told Mr. Wonderful the correct answer, he quickly adds that extra little digit on there. He's like, well, first impressions, man. This book is, we just met, and now he thinks I'm stupid.
So as you scratch in that little extra 0, nothing happens in the journal, but on the map, another part of the map shows up.
Well,
What's new on the map?
Part of the map.
So it is a map of the Honeyroot Forest, and there were sections of the middle of the map missing. It was just wooded trees, and now you can see what looks like to be a keep in the center of the woods. The start of a keep building, but it's not full yet. Can't see how big it is, what's there. It looks like one of the turrets is now showing on the map, but other than that,
We have
Is
enough
the-
information to go there.
depends on what you guys know. You could try for another riddle to get more pieces, or you could just try to
Is
figure
the
it out.
bard
with the
still
one.
around?
He's in the shop.
Hugan, do you want to jump in this old shop here and see if that bloke knows where to put this here map?
I guess I could try. Or we could just head out and we could sniff out the location.
If anyone's going to sniff out, it's that beak, innit?
Exactly. But let me talk to him one more time. And I'll go in the... I'll go in the shop and okay, what are we doing, Mr. Wonderful? What did one of those little creatures say we're doing? It's very hard to think right now, and my brain is still foggy.
Well, I guess they want you to get this guy to talk a little bit more about the map. But I'm not really sure. I mean, honestly, how about you just go beat him up a bit? I'll ask some questions. We'll be good cop, bad cop, and then I'll be displacement cop, and you just be murderer.
I don't know if we're gonna get any more information out of him. How about we tag in Tony? I'm getting tired of this.
You know what? How about we just send Tony and we send you in there, and then I'll go outside and I'll get some more giggle water because my throat's getting kind of dry.
Okay, fine. Tony, where are you at?
I'm right here.
Of course you
Tag
are.
out, Tony.
Oh, tag time. I'm in.
Do you know what we're doing?
I've no idea, but I'm sure everything will be just fine. And he'll sling from his shoulder. He's got like a giant spoon, and on the end of the spoon is like, it's like where you would have a bindle, but it's like a sports bag. And he just like slings it down and like unzips his sports bag and pulls out like a head like sweatband and just pops it on. And he's like, I'm ready for anything.
Make sure he can walk though, guys.
Just too much. Just too much too early in the morning.
Well, you gotta be ready to start the day.
So you guys are heading back in to talk to Flynn again?
Yeah.
All right. So you see him. He definitely looks a little shooken up at everything that just transpired outside of the shop. And to see you guys walk back in, he's like, guys, what? What else do you want to know from me? I don't know anything else, man.
Flynn, buddy, it's been so long since we last spoke. Of course, it's me, Tony, from the motivational speaking scene. Of course, we know each other so well. Hey, I just wanted to know if you could give us any helpful tips that might help us navigate this here map.
And he will look you up and down and like kind of glance at Toucan behind you and like, I don't know, let me see it, I guess. And he'll take it, he'll kind of even like snatch it from your hands a little bit like irritated.
Enthusiasm, I like that first thing in the morning.
And he'll look at the map and he'll go, oh, that's weird. No, this is Honeyroot for sure. This is the woods, but I don't remember there being that building there. I mean, we have maps of the town, and he'll pull out kind of like a tourist map. And if you were to lay them down, the center of the map on Flynn's map is just woods. Whereas the center of the map on the one you have from Charms is blank with the start of a building.
Well, this sure is a turn up for the maps. Charms was a cheeky little fellow, wasn't he? All guff and bluster, most of us thought, but perhaps he'll have more than he let on. Well, there is a chance that, perhaps this old map is more useful than we first thought. Well, I thank you, and I'll take both the maps back.
Are you gonna pay for them, or are you just gonna snag them and just walk
I'll
out?
like wink and be like, for old time's sake, for buddies.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okie dokie.
I will assist him by just standing there and flexing my feathers.
Okay, do it with advantage.
Ooh. So with advantage, that is a 23.
Oh yeah, so he will, while not enjoying the interaction, as you kind of grab the map and give him a good wink, maybe even like a good elbow to the side and, the whole nine, he will kind of actually like chuckle a little bit. Like he's like, all right, yeah, wait, just go, man, just go. Take your friends. Can you just take your friends?
I sure can. Come on, fellows, we have an adventure.
Is there anything else in the journal that's come back, or do we just have that one riddle that's appeared?
Flipping the pages, you see a couple more riddles.
So the Honeymaster feels a flicker of a very old emotion within him, a sort of prideful glee that here is a challenge that he can attempt to overcome. It's a side of himself that over many decades of looking inwardly, activating the third eye, he's managed to bury, but he realizes now he can't deny this essential part of himself.
I just love this so much. It's very good. So are you guys kind of inspecting these riddles and moving along, heading towards the woods?
I think, yeah, because we now know that there's something weird in the woods. And so, well, something's probably happening there. So I think the Honeymaster's choice would be to head there and then, while traveling, see if we can break any more of the riddles and ciphers and so forth that Sir Charms has left behind us, like a trail of sherbet lemons.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So how about here we take a break. It has been an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So we can stretch our legs, refill our coffees. Our viewers can take a break as well. And then
Honeymaster remembers an ancient proverb. A fool goes when he has to. A wise man goes when he can.
Yeah, I need to readjust and stuff, so this is a perfect time for a break.
Awesome. All right. So
Toucan Slam returns with a missing head.
Yeah.
We will be back here in a few minutes. Stick around, guys.
All right. I'm sorry. So, disclaimer, that toucan head was absolutely crushing every part of my brain and throat, so I could barely concentrate. But now we're back. And sorry, what do you want to redo what you said, Chrissy?
The Honeymaster silently files away your failure as like future ammunition.
I
He judges
definitely
you silently.
understand.
Disappointing.
So I said if somebody wanted to do a perception check or a nature check as you guys are heading out of town towards the woods.
Yes, I am doing a nature check. As you can see, I'm rolling a dice, and you can see my camera shaking. Oh, are you kidding me? The thing I'm built for, I roll the worst. That's a 9 total.
All right. Okay. Does anyone want to do a perception check?
I'll do it.
All right.
Also,
Ooh.
these hands are terrifying. I just want to say.
22.
22. Okay. So, you guys see Toucan with his bird wings and non-opposable thumb having hands. He's kind of like shuffling dirt around, kind of sweeping things off, not really picking up on anything, but Mr. Wonderful is like going a little bit off the normal trail, and you find a couple of small marshmallows. And they are very reminiscent of the ones that you would often see Sir Charms. And you definitely see that there's footprints and dragging marks, and it definitely juts off towards the north, the direction of where the center of the map would be.
I want to immediately stop everybody and be like, "It's the crime scene."
Honeymaster takes out his figurine of wondrous power and says, "Activate dog."
Okay.
Clever thinking,
And-
honey.
If that works and it turns into a dog, I shall attempt to get the dog to help follow the trail.
Okay. So I will say it definitely happens because that's what it does. If you have to pick a word to summon it, so which would you like?
Activate dog.
Activate dog.
Is the activation work? Is the activation word?
Okay. So as you say that, it is a mastiff dog that will stay a mastiff for up to 6 hours. You can kind of bamf him back in and out. He has dark vision up to 60 feet and can see invisible creatures and objects within that range. Once it's been used, it can't be used again until you have your 7 days that have passed. But I will go ahead and do you want his stat block or do you just want me to roll for it? Doesn't matter to you.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Yeah, feel free to roll for him.
Sorry, is Ben playing Pokemon right now? What's going on here?
So
go, I choose you.
so the dog rolled a 19.
Nice.
So I'm going to go ahead and say he kind of looks up at the honey monster, looks at you, acknowledges you as kind of like his master and holder.
An unspoken understanding flashes between us. Yeah.
Yes, so there is a connection, and he starts, and you guys can start to follow the trail, and he is definitely doing really well.
Good boy.
Do we know what Mr. Lucky himself used these marshmallows for?
Give me I would say give me either insight or history.
All right. Ooh, that will be a 15.
15. Yeah, so you know that these were kind of his source of power. It's kind of like how the more he had his cereal around him, the stronger he was. So the fact that there is now pieces and parts of something that important to him kind of scattered about the forest floor, it's not a good sign.
I'm definitely going to scoop them up in my spoon and just start eating them.
Okay. All right.
Especially if I believe that that's the source of his power, I'm going to gobble it up.
Like Aztecs, where they eat the heart to gain their power. It's the same principle.
Yes. So, Toucan, how many are you eating?
All of them.
All of them.
That's a terrible GM question, but that's what Toucan is doing.
No, just wanted to make sure we were going full bore here. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
All right.
Oh boy.
You say what you like about Toucan, but he's the kind of guy that will eat another man's cereal.
Off the floor.
That's a 15 total.
Okay, no, you're good. So you, so as you're just inhaling the sugar and things start to, your stomach kind of goes, and you feel like maybe, no, I'm good. And then you just kind of keep on moving. But there was definitely a moment of, oh no, that doesn't feel good at all.
Almost achieved inner emptiness.
Correct.
Do I feel any more powerful?
You do actually. So you will, and I will put it in chat. You feel just a little bit more, I'm gonna say healthy, and it's gonna give you a little bit more HP.
Yeah. I knew he was keeping secrets from us all along.
Taliman. Taliman.
When we find him, we should steal all his charms.
You're always after his lucky charms.
All right. So as you guys are going, you are following your Mastiff. Honeymaster, do you want to give him a name or just want to call him Dog? Dog. Perfect. So you were following Dog, and he stops. You guys are traveling for a couple of hours. I mean, it feels like the day is progressing pretty quickly, and you're making some good time. But he stops and kind of looks around in the trees, and you see him kind of take a few extra and veers off a little bit from the trail he's been following. Are you guys just going to continue to follow?
I must admit, I'm a bit cautious about this dog. I don't know why we're trusting a canine.
I don't see you on all fours, Tony.
That's racist.
You do have a great nose yourself. Why aren't you using it?
The Honeymaster will have a look around and see what might have spooked Dog.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Delicious +1. That is a 21.
Wow. Okay. Nat 20. There it is. So you smell very sickeningly sweet smell, and you can tell that it's distracting the dog a little bit. And it's the strong smell of honey, and it's getting stronger and stronger the more you guys walk deeper into the forest, and it's almost, like I said, sickeningly sweet.
Honey.
And as you guys are standing there, you hear just the low of bees.
Oh boy, this ain't no safe place, guys.
Honeymaster considers bees his kindred spirit, although he's not ignorant of the danger they could potentially pose. They must be respected as well as admired. So he does not fear them, but he understands that they must be treated with the caution that is due any force of nature.
I imagine that honeybees are regarded as a sacred animal to cereal mascots,
like
surely.
Egyptian cats.
Yeah, exactly.
But in the same way, the sacred can also be vengeful and destructive.
Of course, yeah.
So
absolutely.
deserving of our adoration and our respect and our admiration, but also, yes, perhaps even feared.
Is the honeybee a thing for you? Are you into that?
The Honeymaster considers the honeybees to be an essential link in the chain between worlds, the wheel of existence upon which we are merely riding from one temporary realm to the next. The honeybees are like a deeper part of the machinery of the wheel of reincarnation and existence. So
So-
yes, but
The honeybee
Again-
is like the apple to the honey monster, and you're Eve.
in a way, it's more that they have a deeper connection to the true reality beneath the one we perceive. without
So I
mundane
have to
senses.
just quickly ask, are you having this very existential conversation out loud with
Oh,
one another?
100%, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, of course.
It's amazing.
So as you guys are talking and walking and the dog is sniffing his way through the woods and you are dissecting the importance and the spiritual aspect of bees to the cereal world, you see out of just the corner of your eye what looks like the Honey Nut Cheerio bee, but he is just a monstrosity. He is not the bee you recognize. He is massive in comparison to what he normally is, and he is swollen and doesn't look like he's doing much, but he's got a small army of bees surrounding him.
Okay.
I
Mr.
say,
Wonderful,
you're not the mascot you used to be.
Mr. Wonderful
you don't.
knows Honey Nut Cheerios bee because they're from the same brand. Honey, what's happened to you? What's going on?
You're just going to shout that out?
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
like bedazzled. Oh no! Ah!
Okay. So I need everyone to roll initiative.
Oh no.
Oh, this is what Toucan is ready for. It's my time to
Ah, yeah.
maybe fuck everything up.
17.
The Honeymaster gets 4.
That will be an 11.
21 from Pop.
Up. Okay.
15 from Toucan.
All right. So Mr. Wonderful shouts this out to the Cheerio, the Honey Nut Cheerio bee, and you see the eyes kind of glaze over, and he just kind of rolls his head back, and his body just kind of starts to sloth off, and you can see that it is like horrifying to look at. And the bees that are surrounding him, he has 2 bees that are kind of tending to him. They come full bore towards you, and Pop is up first in initiative order. What do you do? They are just right now coming toward you. All they are doing is moving towards you.
Okay. So immediately off the bat, going to sort of move towards them, holding his spoon shiv, and just try and start shivving it a bit. How far away are they? Sorry.
I'll say by the time you guys get all into where they're standing in the small clearing in the woods, you could probably withdraw a weapon and attack. I'll say they
Yeah,
come
so
into
I'm
melee.
going to use my spoon shiv and just try and poke bees out of the air with a shiv.
So these are human sized.
Oh.
You can see that they are large bees. They are not small. It is not a swarm. It is just 2 massive bees coming
my
at
action
you.
continues. I just try and shiv a bee.
Okay, perfect. So go ahead and roll to attack. Are you just doing
Just a normal attack. I rolled a 10 to hit.
10? A 10 does not hit.
So using my offhand with my slightly bigger shiv, I'm going to try and hit there as well,
Okay, go for it.
which is a 20. Not a nat
That-
20, it's a dirty 20.
That's okay. That definitely hits.
And that hits for 5 damage.
Okay. All right.
And
So
then-
you
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh, that's it. I'm going to sort of stand there in defiance, shivs in hand.
Okay. All right. So as you are standing in defense, you see the bee definitely was just coming at you, just with a general aggressive action. There were no weapons. As you kind of slice into it, you see its flesh. It doesn't look normal. It's not a normal style of wound that you recognize making. And he just kind of like slumps around and grumbles a little bit, and you hear the buzzing get louder. And we are up to Cole. Or wait, no, Sable, you're next. Sorry, Mr.
Okay.
Wonderful.
So Mr. Wonderful just watched this bee fly up and begin to attack, and he's still staring at the Honey Nut Cheerios bee. He's like, "Why are you attacking us, man? I knew you. I was at your christening. What you doing?" And he's gonna turn over to the bee that just came up, and he's going to pull one of his surprise pellets off his jacket, and he's going to throw it at it for his. Let's see, it's a 24 to hit.
That'll hit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I have to roll a, let me see, a
A D-
D6? Yeah, D6. Roll 6. Oh, I did that twice, my bad. Let's see here, 6. I takes 1d4 psychic damage and must succeed a constitution saving throw or become blinded.
Wow, all right.
So let me roll that d4.
Oh, no, geez.
Which is a 2 plus my spell casting damage. Sorry, I am crazy about that. That's a 9.
9 damage.
Yeah.
All right,
The pup
so
explodes in the purple powder.
so that same bee, you can see as it takes more damage, it is not looking great already. It's still standing, it's still doing okay, but like it's not enjoying itself, and it is now blind. It rolled a 6 on its con save. So now it is just haphazardly kind of just swinging and grabbing for whoever it can and whoever is near its melee. And it will be... Oh, Mr. Wonderful, do you have anything else?
Nope, I just was like, "What's up, guys? There's something not wrong with them."
All right. And then we go to Cole.
All right, so they both attacked the same bee, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So I'll step up to the one that they haven't attacked yet, and this is the moment everyone's been waiting for. He's gonna spin the spoon off of his back, and he's going to look the bee in the eye and quote every bee's favorite movie. "According to all known laws of aviation, there's no way a bee should be able to fly. Its wings are too small to get its fat little body off the ground. The bee, of course, flies anyway, because bees don't care what humans think is impossible." And he's gonna rage after he says that, which is a proc of wild magic, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Are you rolling those, or are we rolling those?
You can roll it. I trust you.
What to a D8? Okay. All right, so that is a 2. Oh my god. Okay, let me make sure I'm doing this right. So how it works for a wild magic barbarian is when I enter a rage, magical energy roiling inside you sometimes erupts. So I rolled a 2, which is you teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. Until your rage ends, you can use this effect again on each of your turns as a bonus action. Okay. So I guess I teleport behind it because it says up to 30 feet, so I can decide. And I'm going to Toucan Slam as I slam into it with my spoon. I'm going to miss. I sputter and skitter and slide, and I'm sure an 8 doesn't hit.
Mm-mm.
All right. Let's see here. Let me double check. Ooh, I have 2 attacks though. Dope. So I'm gonna try again as I gain my ground a little bit. All right, that one is a 23 to hit.
23. That one will hit.
All right. So first, I'm going to do a total of let's see here. A total of 13 bludgeoning damage, and then as part of my path and being a barbarian as well and using a spoon, the creature is going to get pushed 5 feet forward to an unoccupied space as long as it is no more than one size larger than me, and then that'll be the end of my turn.
Yeah, you definitely successfully push it. And he is also looking pretty rough after that just heavy smack from your spoon. That second bee is not feeling great. And it is Tony the Tiger's turn.
Seeing the amazing work so far of his fellows, he will stand at the back and proudly puff out his chest and just begin to give a motivational speech, is what he will cast. Stand there going, "Excellent work, fellows. I knew you had it in you all along. You know what the spirit of breakfast is really about. Inside all of us is that honey sweet glow that just makes us right for the day, whether we need to smash through hunger, get ready for school, jobs, work, whatever it is, whatever task befalls us, we will be ready to fight." And everyone gains 5 temporary hit points. Woo. And if you are hit with an attack, then you, on your turn, get advantage on your attack. For the 5 of us.
All right. Anything else?
He will look smug with his bonus action.
Okay. All right. And it is now the second bee that Toucan Slam hit, and he's going to turn around after being kind of pushed from behind as that spoon kind of smacked him forward. He's going to turn around towards Toucan and attempt a honey chrysalis, which is he's going to shoot a cone of crystallizing honey out of his mouth and attempt to encase Toucan in a hardened shell. So the creatures in the cone must make a DC 12. I'll do just a strength save. We'll just do that to avoid getting encased with the...
Do you mind if I use a reaction?
Sure, if you have one to use.
Yes, I have an item. I'll send it in chat. I'd like to use the Ring of the Grammarian.
All right.
I'd like to change one letter in that spell from Honey Chrysalis to Money Chrysalis.
This is amazing. Okay, so as this bee, I knew this was coming. So as this bee kind of, you see its maw open up and it's attempting to spray out, suddenly there's just copper and silver and gold coins just start spitting out, and you can see the confusion on its face as it's like just vomiting out coins for 15 feet. You have 15 feet of coins.
So do I still have to do the save to
You
not?
do.
Okay. Well, I rolled it and it was a 2 and a 3, so I'm glad.
Yeah.
Because
No.
I have
Got you.
advantage and everything.
Yeah. So you just see coins come spewing out of this bee's mouth, and now it is the Honey Nut Cheerio bee. So he's actually going to kind of lumber himself up and attempt. It looks as though he's attempting to flee. So he is not necessarily taking an initiative order in combat. His action is going to be he's trying to get away, and we are now up to the Honeymaster.
So, the Honeymaster, he takes a small glass vessel from his satchel and uncorks it. And it dips a paw in and withdraws a glob of viscous goo. You can smell its cloying sweetness. With a deft motion that renders the process impossibly quick, it slathers its paws and forearms in the substance, creating a mass of sticky, matted fur. The Honeymaster's bestial features harden and it intones a single word. Honey. So the sticky mass allows the Honeymaster's staff to adhere to its furry extremities, making it impossible to judge where the next blow will come from. It's going to spend one of its key points to take the disengage action for free, which allows it to sprint past the other bee as it pursues the Honey Nut Cheerio bee.
Okay.
Boink. And it's then going to attempt to trip up the Honey Nut Cheerio bee with his staff.
Okay. Are you attacking it or just trying to do like a skill of just like swiping his legs, not necessarily doing damage?
I think I'll just try to trip him up so
Okay.
he isn't able to run as fast.
So rather than doing like an attack, just do like athletics or acrobatics,
So
whichever.
the adhesion of his paws lets it grab and grapple with astonishing grace and strength, manipulating joints and knocking limbs, for this is the way of the sticky fist. It has we'll make it acrobatics. And he gets an 11 for an acrobatics check.
That's okay. So that'll do it. So you will take your staff and leaving a trail of honey behind. You will see this massive, and I can't stress, like it just does not look like the bee that you know, and he is now knocked prone. He's down.
And that will be the Honeymaster's go.
All right. And we are back at the top of the round. So that would bring us to Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Crackle's time.
Love this.
Crackle gets to go.
Yes.
So I'm right. There's one right in front of me, isn't there?
Yes, there is.
So I'm going to attempt to cast Tasha's Caustic Milk.
Yes.
Just
As one should.
A caustic milk spew in front of me.
Just
can you describe?
Yeah.
Can you just describe what that looks like for the audience? Is it coming from your mouth or your hands? Like, how are you?
It's out of his mouth.
Oh, of course.
It's out of his mouth. He just opens his mouth wide, and just a solid stream of just lumpy, sort of 3-day past the sell-by date milk is just coming forward in droves. Just a lot of it. Straight onto the bee and anything within 30 feet behind it.
Okay.
So which one is he in the order? Oh, they're all on each other's shoulders in the trench coat, right? So which one is he?
He's crawled his way to the top.
Oh, he's crawled up to the top. Okay,
yeah, they crawl up to the top to do anything. Yes, it's Dex 15.
Dex 15. So I would say, Tony, you were not entering the fray of combat, right? You were not in melee with either of the bees?
Safe at the back.
Okay, well, he shoots this behind him as well. So, Dex save, please.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, it's just going everywhere. There's just milk.
Yeah, just
lumpy milk.
A spinning milk tornado.
Yeah.
The Dex saving. Well, how does a 2 suit you?
Oh no!
He's shit.
Right.
Tony's
2D.
too obsessed with his own speech. He's just stood at the back, just reeling off like breakfast ingredients.
Well, it's 3 damage.
Okay. And for the bee, and he's also doing a dex save, correct?
Yes.
And he got a 5. So if you want to roll damage for him, or we'll just use the same damage so you don't have to keep rolling, it's up to you. I'll give you the chance to roll more damage if you'd like.
Okay, I'm gonna go at that. I got 6.
All right.
On this one, and they are covered in milk until its next turn, I think.
Yeah, you will see this thing kind of writhe and acknowledging kind of like the cottage cheese texture of what's covering its body, and just letting out a louder buzz, and kind of even sounding, if it could be a scream, it would definitely be a scream. And we are at Mr. Wonderful.
Okay. Mr. Wonderful, he sees, I assume his name is Nut, right? I'm not sure what the honeybee's name is, actually. The honeybee, Nut, is on the ground prone, and he goes, "Don't hurt him. He doesn't know what he's doing. Can't you tell? There's something wrong with him." And he turns over to the other honeybee that I guess Toucan is still fighting, and he's going to start off by using meta magic to cast a twin spell. And he's going to cast, as he pulls off 2 of his pellets, and tosses both of them. So the first one, we're looking at 26.
Yeah. Yes.
Second one, 11.
The 11 will not hit, but the 26 absolutely does.
Okay, so let's roll that d6. Roll, and then I'll roll that d4.
Yeah.
Roll. I know there's so much. So it's a 4. Which
And
is...
Mr. Wonderful, for your wild magic hits, if you roll 1 on the d20, right? For a sorcerer? Did you have to fail a d20 roll to roll on the magic table, I believe?
Yes, I think I'm trying to find it.
Oh, I should have done that as well, actually.
Yeah, so...
Go for it. You can.
So I just rolled a d20, and if I get a 1...
Then you roll on your magic table.
Okay, so thank God. Whew,
5.
no 1.
A 5? Okay, so we got a 5 and... what else?
For me, it was a 11 and a 26.
Okay,
Like
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
So it was a 4, so it's green. The pellet exposing the green powder, and he takes 4 plus 7. Oh, sorry, 4 plus. Where's it at? 4 plus 7. 11 points of poison damage.
All right. So this first bee, as you guys are just hitting him left and right, as these spells and everything is just kind of hitting him, you can see that the flesh is not normal. It's like a cereal. It's as if he's made out of Honey Nut Cheerios himself. It's kind of even Gollum-y. Like, it's not like as if they are real creatures in a sense of what you know.
We finally found the cereal.
And we are up for Toucan.
Well, you see, I am a bird. So I'm going to kick off the ground and take flight. Let me see if I can show you my beautiful plumage just to get this. Whoosh, whoosh. Look at this.
It's too real.
Monka TOS.
And I'm gonna jump up in the air and fly over to the honey nut bee, buzz bee, as we've just learned. And Mr. Wonderful said not to kill it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still gonna attack it, but I'll say that it's non-lethal. I'm gonna just come down from flight with the spoon and just whack it once or twice. So 2 attacks. Is going to be a 16 to hit and a dirty 20 to hit.
Those will both hit.
All right, great. So non-lethal, the first one is going to be 16 damage.
Okay.
And the second one is going to be 9 damage as he just pops down into the ground. Now I have a very strange question based on your description. Does cereal-like substance come out of this bee?
Yes. As you are hit, when you connect that first one, that like very intensely powerful hit on him, you can definitely see just like dust of Honey Nut Cheerios kind of like blast off of his shoulder. So you can definitely tell that he is not himself.
I'm going to take my spoon and Toucan Slam is going to lick it. How does it taste?
Sure. It definitely tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios.
Well, we found where all the missing cereal's gone. Pop these bad boys open and you can get yourself a taste too.
Yeah.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right. And we are at Tony the Tiger.
So is Honeybee still vaguely conscious?
The first one that's covered in caustic milk is barely standing. right now. But you do have the second bee that is going to be moving into melee with Snap, Crackle, Pop, and Mr. Wonderful.
Okay, that's second bee. I'm going to try and cast a command on him.
Okay.
No, suggestion, sorry. Suggestion.
Okay.
And he needs to make a wisdom saving throw, DC 15.
Well, we know how that went last time.
So he rolled an 8.
He'll be like, "You there, young chap. You need to stop. And we need to get to know each other a bit better. We need to grab one of these and get the day started the right way." And I'm going to convince him to start doing a workout with me. Come on, we need to get that blood pressure up. You need your cereal in you. You need to exercise. You got to start the day a good, healthy way.
And you will see him eyes glaze over. There is no fight in this whatsoever, and he will go over and start doing push-ups right next to you, and just won't stop doing push-ups until you tell him to.
Are the push-ups on four arms?
I would, yeah.
So 2 legs, and then the push-ups are on the other 4 limbs.
Yeah, we'll say they're like elevated ones where he's like kind of like leaned against a tree, you know, the easier ones, the ones where he doesn't have to work as hard.
Your next roll, Chrissy, you also have a re-roll.
Yes, and Snap, Crackle, Pop, you got a +2.
Oh.
All right, so now we are up to the second bee. He's doing push-ups. Can he save from that at the start of his turn? Or no?
I think only if he takes damage.
Okay, all right.
But otherwise he is
Suggested
he's doing what he's doing.
He is doing push-ups, all right. And it is now the Honey Nut Cheerio Bee's turn, and he's just kind of getting up, and as you guys that are standing there with him, you can see like there's like a glint of humanity within him where he's like
Beanity somewhere deep within. There is still bee within you. I can feel it.
Yes, and it is apparent that he was trying to just get away. So he's not going to make any movement to attack. He's just going to kind of like stay where he's at with his little bee hands raised and not attempt to attack. He's not interested in attacking. The other two definitely were. And we are at the Honeymaster's turn.
I can either try and grapple him and keep him from fleeing, or I can try to appeal to the bee within. And I think I'm gonna. The Honeymaster would like to make an insight check to see if he can understand how we can get at the buzzbee deep within this monstrosity. I'd like to use the +2 that was so generously given to me by chat, because I'll forget it that I've got it if I don't use it. So
Sure.
I add a total of +6 to this. That is a 19.
Oh yeah. So you, in your very spiritual ability to connect, you can kind of just emotionally and physically feel that like he really just needs this shell kind of sheared off of him. Mm-hmm. That there is like he is encased in something that is controlling and dictating what is happening to him.
Do I have an action left? What action was the insight?
I'll give you an actual action, like a movement or.
So I shall say to Toucan, we must smash this this artificial outer shell and free him from its prison, and then I'm going to smack him with my quarterstaff.
Can I slam instead?
I get advantage because he's on the ground.
Correct.
So I bop him. 14 or 14. That is a 21.
So that'll hit for sure.
And then double-handed. That is 6 damage.
Yep.
And if I have a bonus left, did the insight count as a bonus?
I'll say the insight would have been the bonus for you to be able to.
That's the. I'll get on the other side of him, So the toucan and I are, so he doesn't have an easy path to run away.
Sure.
And that will be the end of the Honeymaster's turn.
All right. So we are back at the top of the round, and we have Snap, Crackle, and Pop are up.
Get the right hat. It's Snap's turn. And so he's still got a bee in front of him.
Correct. Yeah, a very, very not good-looking bee. It is definitely...
So he's going to pick up his war spoon and just get ready to crunch down on the bee in front.
Yeah.
Which is a 24 to hit.
Absolutely. Yep.
And that is for 10 damage.
Yeah, how do you describe how you kill this first bee?
So I grab my warhammer, my war spoon, and I go to bring it down onto the bee's head, and I say, as I do it, I'm about to bust a nut and smash this bee in the head.
Absolutely. Yeah, so as you bring your war spoon down and you shout your
my war cry.
Your war cry out into the woods. You see the shell of the honey nut dust kind of crack off of this bee, and there is a smaller, and what you would recognize inside of it as a worker bee for the honey nut Cheerio bees. You definitely see that it was being manipulated and controlled by some sort of golem outer skin. And it is dead. So, your damage.
That's it for me. Yes, I'm happy with that.
All right. And then we will go to Mr. Wonderful.
So Mr. Wonderful just watched that outer shell break, right? He sees the bee inside of the... He takes a look at it. He's, that's an interesting little suit you got. Nothing like I got right here, but that means my buddy better than the other one. And he runs on over, and he sees Honeymaster and Toucan Slam, I guess, getting ready to beat the crap out of him. So he looks around in his jacket trying to find something to use, and he pulls out this oddly cereal box shaped gun. And he's like, my puff blaster should be the one to do this. And he aims it at a not too lethal spot on the outer shell, and he fires for a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
And it does 10 damage.
10 damage. Okay. So you definitely, I will say on his lower extremities, you guys can see that the Honey Nut Cheerio dust explodes into a cloud, and now it just kind of looks like half of a costume, sort of. So his lower half is just kind of like tiny little bee legs with little tiny bee shoes, but the top half is still just massively engorged with Honey Nut Cheerio dust just packed on the top half of his body. But you can definitely see his tiny little normal legs, what you recognize as his normal legs. Anything else?
I'm going to look at the Honeymaster and Toucan Slam, and Mr. Wonderful's going to be like, okay, guys, now one of you hold the big part, and the other one grab his little legs, but don't break them. Gotta pull them out. All right, pull them out. And I'm just indicating, trying to supervise.
All right.
I think I can handle that.
Yeah, and you are up, Toucan.
All right, so this is for Tony. I don't know if he's watching, so someone might have to clip this. But for the effect, Toucan raises his foot, which it is a foot. That's the best I got. And he whips out his claws, which are also terrifying. And he's going to use his talons to try to rip the other parts off of the parts that aren't supposed to be there off. So that, let's see here, is a Talon Attack. So still 2 of those. Ooh, one of them is an 11 and one is a 23.
The 23 will hit. The 11 does not.
I'd like to use my reaction, Bend Luck.
Okay.
So I'm going to use 2 of my sorcery points to add a d4 to your 11.
And then it will hit.
That's a 1.
So a 12? Does a 12 hit though?
A 12 total? Oh
Yeah.
no, a 12 total will not hit. I thought you said it was I'm sorry, I must have heard you incorrectly.
Yeah.
But that first one is a 12 total, then no.
Dang. All right. Well, here is the Talon attack that went through. That is going to be a total of. Is this a? Let's see.
Somebody just gave you advantage. In chat.
I'll use that for the next. Use the advantage. All right, fine. Since Sarah said use it, I'll use it. All right. Okay, so the second attack will be a 20 now.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so the first one, this is a question. Do I get my rage bonus on my talons?
It's an attack, right?
Yeah, it says a strength weapon though. I mean, they're part of my weapons, I guess, so.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like as an Aarakocra, that is like, it's like a tabaxi with the claws, right?
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
So
they're.
the first damage is 7, and then the second damage is 7.
And you specified at the beginning of this that you wanted it to be non-lethal, right?
Yeah, so what he's doing now that we've revealed half the bee is he's just clawing the other half apart to reveal the original bee.
All right. So thank you. All right. Because I was like, well, all right. You successfully managed to just grab and rip and pull apart this crunchy exterior, this exoskeleton, to show your guys' normal friend, the Honey Nut Cheerio bee, for sure. He is now laying there. You have one bee still doing push-ups at the suggestion of Tony the Tiger, and we also have to roll on a magic surge table because I believe Mr. Wonderful rolled a 1 after casting his luck reaction.
I bend luck, yes.
So go ahead and roll that D100 and let me know what you get.
It's a 4.
Okay, so that's not bad. For the next
Most
minute, you can
terrified
see.
4 you've ever said.
For the next minute, you can see any invisible creature if you have line of sight to it. So not terrible.
Do I notice this, or does it just like it's just
You
there?
probably feel like your body kind of like be imbued a little bit more with magic, knowing that there's like a surge of something in the energy and air for sure. But until you come across an invisible creature, I would say you probably don't know that that's what exactly happened.
What a kicker.
And yeah, so we can stay in initiative with you guys not attacking the last guy and just having him do push-ups, or exit initiative. I'm okay with either, or you can finish him off or whatever.
I quite like the idea of leaving him to do push-ups indefinitely.
Okay.
That pleases me greatly.
He's gonna be ripped at the end of this campaign.
Yeah, he's gonna come back for us.
Just
Massive.
You enormous.
1,000.
Yes, yeah, just massive. So you guys are now out of initiative, and you have the Honey Nut Cheerio bee kind of just exhausted looking, passed out, kind of unconscious, sort of like deep, heavy breathing. And you guys can try to wake him, or you can, whatever you'd like to do.
The Honeymaster is used to the true person being within, but normally not quite so literally. He would like to try to wake up Buzzbee, the Honey Nut Cheerio bee.
Sure.
With a medicine check.
Go for it, yeah. Perfect.
I get +4. I get 14.
Yeah, so that'll do it. So as you kind of, you're, opening his eyes very intentionally.
Knowing that the only thing bees eat is honey, he pours some of his ever-present jar of martial arts honey down the bee's throat.
Okay, opening the mouth and just pouring the honey down his throat.
Between the mandibles, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Of course, because why wouldn't you? Sure. So you start to, he you see the mandibles kind of move a little bit, and he comes to, and his eyes he is panicked, and he was like, oh my God, Jesus, I got out of there just in time. And he kind of grabs for whoever's near him, and he's like, you guys have no idea. You have no idea. Lucky.
Take a breath, son. Take a breath.
He's just like panicked, fully panicked. And as he kind of grabs a hold of you guys, you can see he's still pretty like just war torn and exhausted, as if he had been emotionally and mentally fighting whatever was happening. And he was like, those golems, those bees, I mean, everything was turning against me. You guys have no idea. Back in the keep, you know where you're going, right? That to the fortress. I didn't even know it existed. But I think Lucky, he's been on the trail of this for a while, and it's just insanity. It's crazy. Yeah, Cole, right now. Thank you, Cole. It's very good.
Well, Bosby, I'm afraid we got some bad news for you. It seems that our friend Charms is missing. We don't know where he's gone, though we have his map and diary. It's all we've got to point us in the right direction, but we'll need more help along the way. And I'll hold out like a hand to pull him up.
And
to
he
one of his
will.
many hands.
Yeah, he will definitely take your hand and stand up and kind of just like dust
bam,
himself
and it's
off.
just like Predator.
Okay, all right. Very good. Of
And
course.
in that handshake, I will cast a Cure Wounds on him as well.
Okay, so
Make sure he's good to go.
Sure.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I've had way too much milk today. I had to release some of it from my body.
So he regains 8 hit points of B energy.
Okay.
Bee energy. Where we freed all the bees. All right.
One of them is still doing push-ups.
One of them's doing push-ups forever.
No.
They've
So-
decided.
Oh,
Well,
just forever.
Suggestions like an hour or something, so
Yeah,
eventually he'll come
okay.
and go, oh my god. Oh, the
At that
lactic
point, he'll
acid
got
is so
into
painful.
routine and he'll begin to feel the benefits. Hopefully, he'll maintain his healthy lifestyle and rework his ways.
I think you've turned him around.
So-
While we're tending to Busby, can we check the diary again? Because you mentioned that there were some other things written in there that we were going to go through as we travel, but we got sort of waylaid by bee action before we were able to properly contemplate its contents.
Yeah. So there is, as you flip through to the next page, there's another riddle, very short. This one, and it says, "What is special about these words? Job, polish, and herb."
Excuse me. Job, polish, and herb.
Correct.
Okay then. Well, while you guys figure out the riddle, because you guys are the smart ones, everyone say hi to Emily, and I have to put on the head again real quick, just to show how awful this is, but I can't do it with my headset, so just give me 1 minute.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Hi, Emily. That's so good. So good.
This thing is a nightmare that crushes my skull.
I'd like to roll an intelligence check on that riddle.
Okay, go for it. Are you trying to get a hint?
No, I'm trying to see if I've heard it before, or maybe if I can understand
As
it.
a meta hint, British English says herb, not herb. Is that relevant to the riddle at all?
Depends, I suppose, on Mr. Wonderful's intelligence check.
Okay.
Mr. Wonderful
That's what we need
rolls
to know.
an 8.
An 8? Yeah, I mean, no. Mr. Wonderful's not sure if that would be relevant, but it could be.
I want to sit there and just start writing out the words next to each other.
I'm just going to plop down a Rice Krispie square next to the bee that's doing push-ups, so that when he's finished, he's got something like a little protein bar.
Yeah,
Just
little
give him something
sustenance.
A little bit of sustenance for when he's finished in an hour of push-ups.
That's very sweet of you. And
Yeah.
he will watch you. He will eyeball you the whole time, unable to move or change anything about what he's doing, but just watching you place the Rice Krispie treat near him enough to where he can't reach for it at all.
It comes out of my bottom hands.
Okay. Out
The guy on the
of
bottom
like the
just puts
lowest
it
set of
down.
hands in the
Do you
treat.
Yeah, another
know-
set of hands just appears at the bottom of the coat and just drops it on the floor.
The honey monster speculates that the three words become proper nouns if they're pronounced differently. So Job, Polish, and Herb, as in the short name Herbert. Because Job is a name and Polish is a nationality and Herb is a name. But they're pronounced differently from the non-proper nouns.
So as you write that kind of like
I write that really concisely.
concisely
in
the thing, another section of the map starts to and,
That's
and
me
it-
doing that, not Honey Monster. That's from within me.
So as this second part of the map starts to show up, what you guys are seeing is a very strange looking keep, and it looks almost like a castle. Very strange, but it looks kind of familiar. If somebody wants to roll on maybe like a history or an intelligence.
The Honey
Snap
Monster
ain't
is
very smart.
not good at history.
Yes,
Ah.
I am flapping my wings, and I'm gonna fly up, and then I will roll. I want to get a closer look at this castle. You said history?
Yeah, I could do history for sure.
Okay.
I can't remember what I said, but sure.
I don't know shit. I'm just gonna
Okay.
keep flying around and looking at the castle.
Well, it's actually on the map. Are you flying up into the sky to see if you can see it from a vantage point of flying?
Yep, and if I can't, I'm gonna look at the map from flying and see if I can see the map better from above. It's always good to get a clear head, get off the ground.
Sure, yes. So you fly upwards. How high can you go? 30 feet?
60 feet.
60
I have
feet.
no armor.
Okay. So do you have, I know you're wild magic, right?
Yes.
So give me an Arcana check.
Let me double check the height though. So my features and traits section says 50 feet, but if I click on my speed, it says 60 feet. I don't know what.
It might
That's
mean
okay.
you can go 60 feet, but you can only go 50 feet high.
Yeah.
It might be because you're a barbarian and at some class they get an extra 10 feet of movement or something.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
correct.
that's what it is. Cool. Okay. Arcana, good old +0.
All right.
That is a 7.
Okay, so you fly up, and you can't see or notice any sort of castle, keep. You don't see anything when you fly up.
Darn. Well, I guess I come back down and... Well, this castle's not anywhere close, or it's shrouded in secrets.
Yeah. So as you guys are inspecting this part of the map that has now shown up, it gives you a direct route, whereas before it was a little bit less direct because you didn't have as many pieces, but now you have a little bit more of a straightforward route to get there if you wanted to just follow the route that is shown, or you could send your mastiff, whatever you'd like.
I think we'll have Dog go ahead of us.
Okay.
In case there's a minefield or something.
Okay.
I'd
Sure.
like to ask Honey if I could do something real quick for Dog.
Mm-hmm.
I reach onto my jacket and I pull off one of the little puffs and I start whispering it to her. I go, "Iti malia lalia," and I use magic token to imbue it with the ability for me to see and sense through it as if I was there. And I kind of like put it under the mastiff's kind of collar. And I'm like, okay, now we'll see what he sees.
Yeah. Okay. So, so for you, just give me whatever your perception is.
La 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 la. Let's see, perception. Ooh. Oh, 5. Or 10. So 10, yeah.
10 total?
Yeah.
So you are definitely seeing just it looks like a well-walked path. Not a well-used path necessarily, but like there's fresh footprints, fresh walking path. And it is definitely the one that the Mastiff is sniffing out and following as well. So it's a fairly straightforward path.
Can I hear anything?
You cannot hear anything yet. I'll say that after traveling for about half hour or so, you hear a kind of like bubbling. You definitely hear like a boiling or a bubbling.
Okay. I come out of my kind of trance and I explain to everyone what I hear and see where dog is. Then I just go like, guys, I hear some bubbling, but I can't really see anything. I'm not sure if dog is doing it right.
That is interesting. I don't know if I know of any carbonated cereal. All I know is do not put milk in any form of carbonated beverage. You learn that the hard way.
At this point, the Honeymaster would like to use his natural ability to meld with the landscape, because I use Earth Ganassi as his species, and he gets Pass Without Trace that he can cast once per day. So he will cast Pass Without Trace, and everyone, each creature I choose within 30 feet of me, so everyone has a +10 bonus to stealth checks for an hour, and can't be tracked and doesn't leave any traces. So there's probably something nasty ahead. So I'm maximizing our chances of being able to sneak up on it.
Wonderful. All right. So if you guys want to roll your stealth checks and keep those at hand, if you are starting to stealth, and add your +10, right?
Yep.
19.
19 plus 12, which is 26.
Would you like me to roll with disadvantage, as I am 3 people?
I would say roll 3 different times, and let's take like an average of the 3. That way, if one of them is a little bit more loud than the other 2 can maybe quiet down. Go ahead, Cole.
I'm loud as fuck because I rolled a 1. So I'm just like walking through, you do get
+10. You do get +10 from Pass Without Trace, because I am helping us all merge with the natural world.
Yeah.
We are one with all things.
What is my stealth normally? I mean,
I average at 26.
It would be a 14 total, but it is a nat 1.
So what I'll say is that every once in a while, you guys will just hear Toucan snort or eat. You're not quite sure what it is, but it's some of the Honey Nut Cheerio dust that he had managed to collect. Just every once in a while, it's not super loud, but it's enough for all of you to turn over your shoulder and be like, dude, stop.
Is he reaching into his bag of sugar?
Yeah.
His special sugar stash.
Correct.
Sarah wants me to re-roll, but either way, even if I succeed, that is still very on brand. If I succeed, I just do it very quietly.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's a total of a 22 now.
Okay, yeah. So you still are doing that, just very quietly.
Yes.
And what's everyone else's stealth look like?
25.
25.
26.
26.
Mine was a 26 as well.
26. Mr. Wonderful, how about you?
19.
19. All right. So you guys are moving along pretty quickly, and I think right now would be a good time to take our second break, stretch our legs a little bit, and come back and let's see how this ends.
Back, everybody. I think since I didn't change anything up, everybody should still be able to hear everybody.
Yes, can you hear me?
We sure can.
Okay,
We sure
all right.
can.
So before break, you guys were traveling stealthily through the woods, making decent time. You could definitely hear the sound of bubbling or boiling in the distance. And after some travel, you definitely get to a moat. And it smells like a strong breakfast tea, but it is boiling and it is it's steaming and the whole 9 yards. And just looking at what you're seeing, there doesn't appear necessarily to be a way across from where you're at currently. You could do some searching. You could try to
Fly across real quick.
Oh, how big is the gap?
I'll say about 40 feet.
40 feet? Now, here's a question about the world. Is the world made of sugar?
You do know across the board that the world is not necessarily made of sugar, but it has a lot of like plants are often like exuding sugar, or some of the creatures. I mean, you know, it's like a pretty prevalent, very well used spice. I know that's not quite what it is, but.
So, Myth the Wonderful is going to say, I got this, guys. Don't worry about this. And I'm going to cast Mold Earth, which I have as Mold Sugar, to build, I think I can do 40 feet, right? Build shapes, colors.
While you're like sitting there trying to calculate what you need to build, Toucan just flies across to the other side, and just
basically he's just basically earth bending a bridge.
Okay. And there's nothing that needs to be done because I can just be cast, right?
Yeah, it's basically just a cantrip. Yep.
Perfect. So you guys see Mr. Wonderful, and strangely, he's all day been kind of just like saying weird stuff, behaving kind of like ridiculously, but suddenly he comes up and just mutters a few things to himself, and you guys have a working bridge right across this kind of lava, hot English breakfast tea moat.
Is there a gate or a portcullis or a gatehouse like on the other side that the bridge, this makeshift bridge, can lead to?
There is a metal portcullis leading into the castle, yes.
Okay.
Into a castle.
Are there any other ways in, like a window or something like that, on this face of the castle?
I would say probably up about 60 feet. There's a couple of small windows that you could see are used by probably defenders of the keep itself for arrows or...
Are they big enough for a person to go through? Because these slippers of spider climbing are itching on my feet.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
So Honeymaster will contemplate the forbidding fortress ahead of him, and rather than try to force open the gates or lift the portcullis or go in the most guarded way, will calmly stride up the side of the building to one of the windows and peek inside.
Sure, yeah. So you it's almost eloquent the way that you move, in that kind of monk, very like in tune with your movements, kind of just gliding up the side of the wall. And as you pop the front part of your body through this small little kind of defensive hole to like see what's inside, you definitely see a couple of large creatures. You can't quite make out what or who they are. Mm-hmm. They are humanoid, standing on 2 feet, but the feet are large and massive. And if you squint, they kind of look like rabbits. Maybe.
Are they facing this way? Do they know I'm there?
Not. They have their back to you.
I would rather not face them alone, so I shall, with equal grace and monkish silence, stride down the keep and inform my fellow adventurers that it is held by some form of lapine defender.
Lapine, yeah.
I have 2 questions.
Sure.
What brand of breakfast tea is this, if we can tell by smell? And 2, I'm assuming there's a metal gate that's down that is blocking us from getting into the castle, right?
Correct.
Cool. Yep. So I'll wait for the answer on the first one, and then I'll tell you what I'm gonna do after.
Yeah, I don't know tea brands, so.
Oh, you're in a one shot with a mostly,
Listen.
this is the Brit
tips,
squad.
You got Twinings, you got Typhoon
We'll go
tea,
Twinings.
you got Yorkshire tea, obviously.
Yorkshire's the one you want to go.
We'll go Twinings. I didn't think you guys would actually interact with the tea. It was just a general nod to your Britishness, but of course, here we are. It's the American asking about the tea. Sure.
I did it for the boys, but
if you put sugar in it, the Met turns up and chase.
Oh yeah, you got sugar in your tea.
But what Toucan's gonna do when Honey comes back down, he's like, let me see if I can take care of this. And I'm gonna walk up to the gate and I'm going to rage while trying to just completely feather handle the gate up. And while he's raging, he's gonna say, supersized bites with deliciously intense natural fruit flavors, flavor bursting! And I'm gonna try to lift it up.
Yes.
I have to roll a wild magic.
Correct.
So let me do that.
Is your roll magic still a D20 or is it a D8?
I roll a D8, yeah. Okay, where's that at? Wild Surge. I rolled a 4. Magic infuses one weapon of your choice that you're holding until your rage ends. The weapon's damage type changes to Force, and it gains the light and thrown properties with a normal range of 20 feet and a long range of 60 feet. If the weapon leaves your hand, the weapon reappears in your hand at the end of the current turn. Holy shit.
Oh my god, you just got Thor's Molnar.
I got Thor's Mighty Spoon.
Okay, sure. So what did you roll on your strength?
I'm rolling that now. I needed the advantage to see if I could do this. We're gonna pop out Sparkle Princess for this moment.
Sure, yes.
So let me pop that out. And we'll do Champagne, and Sparkle Princess. Here we go. That is going to be only a total of a 13, sadly.
13. So you will manage to get it. I mean, it is a metal portcullis closed down. So I will say you managed to get it up, but you won't be able to hold it long. So if people are going to get through that, they will need to make some dex saves. And it will have to be very quick and fast.
Oh, I can't hold this very long. I can fly in. Hurry, scuttle.
The Honeymaster runs at it and slides underneath it with extraordinary grace.
All right. Can I have a dex save?
Dex save. +6. I get a 14.
Okay.
Roll.
Right.
You're cut in half by the portcullis.
No, you're good.
Create a new character now.
Is anyone particularly sluggish?
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm 3 people, so I'm going to try and drop to the floor and roll under it.
Sure.
All
Yes.
3 of us just like rolling together.
As you do that, Tony's like, remember, folks, teamwork is key. And he's going to give you bardic inspiration.
Thank you. So what we're doing a dex.
Yeah. And you can
dex
take
saving
the
throw,
average.
sorry.
Yeah, you can just do an average if you want. For things like this, we'll just take average for the 3.
Okay. Plus a D6, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For bardic.
Yep.
Deary me. My average on that is a 13 plus a 1, so 14.
Okay, so you definitely make it. I mean, you guys, you 3 are good. We have a Honeymaster under, Snap Crackle Pop is under. How about Tony or Mr. Wonderful?
Mr. Wonderful is gonna like just walk up beside Toucan as he's holding it and go like, "Well, thanks, chap. Ain't you just a bee's knees?" I'm gonna kind of just duck my head and go under.
Okay.
Let me roll that dex for you. Boop. That's a 20, dirty 20.
Yeah, you get through. You're good. And how about Tony the Tiger?
He's going to go up to Toucan Slam and just stand next to him, like looking at him, just like proper gym bullying, like, you know, go on, man, you've got this. I know you don't need to leave this behind. You've got this. You can stay here all day. You've got this under control. I believe in you. If you put this down, you'll be disappointing each and every one of us. Oh, it would be a terrible shame if one of us were to not get through because you would have let this thing go. I couldn't imagine the guilt you would feel if you let this go. And he rolled a 7 on his dex save.
Oh no.
Okay. So as you are talking and just chattering away, the portcullis is going to drop, and we are going to have Toucan and Tony on the other side.
How heavy is Tony?
I don't know, Tony. How heavy are you?
How heavy do I look?
How heavy is a tiger?
I got this.
Like 600 pounds or something. They're massive.
A 7
Yeah,
foot.
huge.
Depends a bit on which type of tiger, but they're quite big.
680 pounds.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is there a mechanism on this side or a handle for raising the portcullis? Because it's not very good portcullis if there's no way to actually raise it. So presumably there's a way to work it.
Correct. Yeah. So go ahead, just give me an investigation check.
I'm ass at this. I got -1.
No.
I got 2. I mean, someone else can find it.
Well, you found it. I'll say this. So I'll say you found it,
Don't know how it
but
works.
how you work it, you have no fucking idea.
I try and bite it. I try and stand on it.
Sure. Yes.
Slathering it with honey.
Yes, I smear honey on it, which is like my default.
Mhm.
So,
Now it's all
Yeah.
sticky and difficult to manage.
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, you guys see it. It is. You're right. It's a portcullis, so they need to get in and out. So it's there, but how you use it is questionable. So
is it just a straight walk into like a courtyard, basically?
yeah, for the most part, yep. You're gonna walk a little bit into there's a little bit of a corridor for sure.
Hey, Chrissy.
Yes.
Also, don't forget we did have a good table from the
Oh, sure.
intermission.
So if someone wants to roll do we do, since it was from Crackle's biggest fan, do we just give it to Crackle?
Sure, let's do it. I'm down
Okay.
with it.
Yep, that works out.
All right. So if Crackle would like to roll a D100.
49.
49.
Oh no.
So you get, oh my god. Okay. You are on the other side of this portcullis, and as you were watching the Honeymaster fight and slather this mechanism with honey, and you're just like, what is he doing? You kind of like, something out of the corner of your eye glints a bright yellow. And you walk over and pick it up, and it is a banana phone. And it gives you the ability to cast a message as long as you don't roll a 1 on it. Then the phone has used up its calls for the day and can be networked by biomancers with a bonus action to dial. So you basically get the message spell that you can use as long as you don't critically fail on sending it. And
Banana phone.
I mean,
Banana
you
phone.
now have a
Their
banana.
charms? Where you at?
Yeah. So you have a banana there, and that banana will cast message for you.
Well, I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
Very, very happy. I mean, I
So-
feel like it could have been something more useful for the current situation.
For
but
absolutely, I don't know. There was nothing. I even tried to look at the 2 above or below.
Does Crackle use it to message Pop and say, "Tell Snap I hate him"?
if they get separated, they'll use it to communicate.
Can you guys stop putting honey on everything and picking up bananas and help us, please?
It is who I am.
Mr.
Can you
Wonderful looks
slather
at
my
the,
banana in honey?
Mr. Wonderful looks at the handle of the mechanism and goes, "Well, I'm not going to touch that. I think I'm just going to keep walking on. You got this. Keep working, honey monster. I got you. You're such a great swell guy." And I walk into the courtyard and I just kind of look around like, this is a draft. This is not 5 stars at all. I'm a celebrity.
Yeah, so I will follow up with Mr. Wonderful in a second, and we will finish figuring out how Toucan and Tony are going to get into the port, or lift the portcullis again, or fly over, or whatever you guys would like to do to try to get into this keep that you are now on the opposite side of.
If I just give up using the mechanism and just pull on, I'm guessing it's a chain that is pulled down, and just pull on the chain really, really hard.
Go for it.
And would I be able to give advantage to an attempt to lift it?
Absolutely, yeah.
I will do that.
Yeah. So as whoever is on the other side, so that would be either Tony or Toucan, as you see the Honeymaster start pulling on this chain, go ahead and roll a strength for the chain. And then you guys can have advantage on lifting the portcullis again to see if we can get Tony underneath.
Since you're so chipper, why don't you try it?
Well, I think that's a fantastic idea. I'll give my guns a show. see what we can get out of this. It is a... Oh, with advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! 11.
Okay. All right. So I will say it takes you guys the better part of an hour of just yanking on various parts of this mechanism and the chain, and Toucan and Tony switching off trying to get it lifted. But you lift it just a little bit if you want to try to dex your way through it again.
Sometimes it is only the more difficult path that truly leads to our destination.
Can I walk
So
to the
after like
portcullis
an
and try and...
hour of lifting and dropping and kind of, I'll lift and you go under, and then kind of they go under, and then we realise, oh, hang on, you need to come back so you can lift it and I can go under. And there's lots of back and forth, and we both end up on the same side again. And Tony will look over and be like, hey, honey, you got a real sweet pair of flip-flops there. I don't suppose I could borrow those.
The honey monster willingly, I believe they would take an hour. They do require attunement, so I believe they would take an hour for them to adapt to your tigery body. But I will slip them through the bars.
Yeah.
I'll kind of, they don't really fit my paws, but I'll try not to ruin them as best I can.
Sure.
And be like, well, while we wait.
I'm just gonna look at Tony and just be like, I'm sick of this. I'm just gonna fly up over the gate and land on the other side.
Okay.
I will not take that personally.
So we have Snap, Crackle, Pop, Toucan, and Honeymaster on the other side. Snap, Crackle, Pop, did you want to try something on the portcullis door?
I was gonna, if they were lifting it up, I was gonna try and pull them through with my bottom hands.
Okay. All right.
But the portcullis is down now, so
Yep.
he's out there.
Right.
I don't think there's any way of helping here.
So as you guys are waiting for the attunement to happen with the boots, Mr. Wonderful, you've wandered off a little bit into this keep. How far are you going without your teammates? Are you just strolling all the way in?
I am strolling with a strut that has never been strut before, like I own the place.
All right. Okay. And you're still stealthing, right?
Yeah.
You said yeah as a question? Okay, because the hour has passed without a trace.
Yes.
So,
I'll reroll it.
okay, so just another stealth check.
Hold up. I have this down here. I hit the wrong button. That's a 16.
16? Okay. So, okay. So I will say you make it a decent amount of time through. You just walk through a little bit of a corridor. It comes to another inner chamber. You kind of quietly open the door and you see within that second room that you are checking out, you see a very beautifully ornate kind of throne, and it smells heavily of chocolate. And you see billowing cloaks from behind, not quite getting a glimpse of the face yet. But as you are kind of sneaking about and moving about, the two lumbering creatures that Honeymaster had told you definitely notice that you're there. And when you kind of close the door back up again, maybe, or even just leaving it open a little bit, as you turn and look over your shoulder, you have two giant Trix rabbits standing there, just fangs, the whole 9 yards. They look like pure monstrosities.
Well, ain't this just a pickle? They're blocking my way out, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Can any of us see or notice any of this going on if we're looking around?
Give me a perception check, yeah.
Okay. God, why are the rolls so bad today? I'm just whistling, looking around the yard with a 7.
Is there any fire around?
I I would say there are probably some dimly lit torches for sure.
Okay. I'm going to use control flames in my cantrip, and I'm going to look at them and be like, well, fellas, I know what it looks like, but I'm going to clap, and I'm going to cause the flames on either side of the room to burst, hopefully scaring them as I dart between them.
Okay. Okay, so I will say that one of them is, it definitely gets one of them. So one of them is like kind of shocked, even a little bit scared of maybe being caught on fire, not sure. But one of them is still honed in and focused on you, and he's going to go in for a bear hug grapple. So that's a 19.
What's the counter for that? Was it athletics or acrobatics?
I'll allow either. I would say athletics probably, but if you're better at acrobatics, I'm not going to harp it on.
You can definitely use either to get out of a grapple.
Okay.
Do a little front flip away.
Yep.
Okay, let's try this out. It's a 16.
A 16. So he definitely has you held in place. And he is just kind of like holding on to you. Not attacking you necessarily, but he is holding on to you, and he is going to start moving into that inner sanctum room.
Do we see all that flame stuff going on?
I would say once he clapped and the flames, you guys would probably definitely know what's going on then. Okay. Or at least know that something's happening over there.
I'd like to look at the camera and just go, oh, applesauce.
Sure, yeah.
I'm going to cast a cantrip of Summon Chair for Tony to sit on.
Yeah.
While he's out there waiting, because he's just going to be there a while.
Yeah, yes. He's going to be there for a bit.
You got a nice little chair now.
Perfect.
Yeah, if Tony is still out there, Toucan will walk over. Come on, Tony, it's time to stop messing around. And try to once again lift the gate. And I'm going to pull out Sparkle Princess again. All right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Never.
That is a total of an 18 this time.
Okay, yeah. You just your frustration and annoyance at the entire experience of trying to lift this turns into like almost even a rage where you just can't even help yourself, and you're just irritated at watching Tony sit in a chair wearing fancy boots. Like the entire experience is just really getting to you, and you just manhandle this gate up just enough for Tony to walk through if he would choose to, for sure.
Oh, then I'll just take the slippers back off again and be like, Toucan, you're good at what you do. And I'll walk under the hand the slippers back to Honey Monster, like in his sort of like goopy, like salivated hands. Be like, you're a good guy.
Yep. So, Mr. Wonderful, you are grappled and you are being dragged kind of into this inner sanctum room. And the rest of you, I assume you're moving towards where you know everything is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Marching to save Mr. Wonderful. If I can I see the bunnies now that everything's happened?
Yeah, you can see one of them, the one that has been kind of scared and hasn't moved into that inner room yet. You definitely can see him. The other one has moved into the room with Mr. Wonderful grappled.
Oh man, what is the rabbit? Is it just Trix Rabbit? Is that what it's just called?
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, I
Well,
couldn't find an actual name. So.
Toucan actually sees the Trix Rabbit and Trix as one of his mortal enemies because they're rival cereals. So as he sees bunnies, gosh dang, Trix, up to no good again. First they try to steal my market share, and now this.
Up to their old tricks.
Gosh, you are insufferable, aren't you, Tony?
Yes.
And I'll just march towards the bunnies.
Okay.
His name is Trix, but not how the cereal is spelled.
No, like
like a magic trick. He is Trix, the Trix rabbit.
Oh, that is so awful.
Oy vey. All right. So, as you guys enter into this like small little courtyard right before this inner sanctum room, yeah, you guys can all roll initiative if you are going to attack the rabbit.
I ain't gonna go full ham on this rabbit.
Whose hat have I got on? Right.
I mean, not that ham because you got 7 for initiative, but
Not much ham on a
40
rabbit, to be
from
fair.
Snap.
Okay.
All right, here we go. 14 for Toucan.
Okay.
Ooh, spicy. That's a 2 for Tony.
Great.
Full 2. He's at the back, chilling.
All right. So, the rabbit is going to see you guys coming and come running at you, and you guys are going to hear these rabbit feet slam in, and it's going to kind of even just rock the ground a little bit. And he's going to go right for Toucan, knowing that he's the one that he's like, it is my mortal enemy, and I am going to get you.
Come on, big boy. Let's dance.
And he is going to take, he is going to rabbit kick. And that is a 14 to hit.
That will not hit. Toucan is his nickname, by the way, for those that don't know. His real name is Slam, not Sam.
Okay. Slam.
Yes.
So you will see him kind of pull a kind of even monk-looking move where he slides in on his hands and takes his feet and just kind of like kangaroo kicks at you. Not quite connecting, but then stands at the ready in defensive posing. So that is his turn. And then we go to who has the higher dex? Would that be Snap, Crackle, Pop or Slam?
Snap who rolled. Snap has a 14.
I have a 16.
Oh, you have a 16 in initiative?
I have a 16 dex.
Oh, okay. What is Snap's dex?
Oh, 14 on deck, sorry, yeah.
Okay, so it'll be Slam going first.
I've been waiting my whole life for this. So it's not Trix himself, but something that looks like him, right?
Yep, it looks like another one of those golem creations that...
Well, good enough. Also, since we fudged around so much last time, I have to rage again. So let me rage. Let me roll wild magic. I don't even know if there are bad benefits to this wild magic, which is kind of weird.
That feels very strong.
Yeah.
It does feel very strong.
We will see. So a 3, and oh god, this one's long. An intangible spirit, which looks like a flump or a pixie, your choice, appears within...
Flump or riot.
Flump, 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 flump.
Okay, it looks like a flump. But instead of tentacles, it has a bunch of spoons. So it's just this weird amalgamation of a flump. Appears within 5 feet of one creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet of you. At the end of the current turn, the spirit explodes, and each creature within 5 feet of it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 1d6 force damage. Until your rage ends, you can use this effect again, summoning another spirit on each of your turns as a bonus action. So there's 2 bunnies.
What we refer to as an Irish breakfast.
There's 2 bunnies, correct?
Correct, yes. One is in the inner sanctum room, and he is grappling Mr. Wonderful. He is holding.
Yeah,
To be close. And
the flump is going to appear right above the head of the one by Mr. Wonderful. So it'll be at the end of my turn, but for now, Slam is going to attack the bunny in front of him twice. It's going to be a 13 to hit and a 16 to hit.
So those will both hit.
Nice. So the first one is going to be a total of 9 damage. And the second one is going to be a total of 7 damage. and each time what happens is on the first hit, the Crusher procs and slides the bunny back, and you just see Sam step forward again and just slam him again and knock him back 5 more feet. So we've both moved 10 feet towards Mr. Wonderful, and that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
Lump goes off.
Yeah, and then
Yes.
you do your flump.
Yes, so I believe Mr. Wonderful has disadvantage on Dex, or does he auto-fail because he's grappled?
Auto-fail, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is going to be a d6 of damage to both of them, but the rabbit can do a Dex save if they want.
So as it blows up, just precipitation. Yikes. Next planet.
It's going to be max damage for 6.
Oh, thank God I have temporary hit points. Whew. So...
And yes, that is the end of my turn as the spoon tentacled flump explodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys see as this, because the door to this inner sanctum room is open, you see him kind of dragging Mr. Wonderful in. You see this flump creature, this crazy mix of cereal bowls and cereal milk and spoons, just kind of like wildly attacking him. He definitely didn't save. He got a 7 on his dex save, so he took full damage. And we are at Snap, Crackle, Pop.
But snaps go, he's going to cast Booming Spoon.
Is that a take
And,
on Booming Blade?
Yes.
Okay.
But going to attempt to hit the one holding Mr. Wonderful
Okay,
with a 15 to hit.
that will hit.
Now it takes an additional 1d8 as well, yeah. So it takes 8 plus, oh, that's a 12, sorry. 12 damage plus an extra d8, which is 5.
So 12
Straight
and
to the
5.
gut.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attempt to move back just out of reach.
So you're using your bonus action disengage?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm just moving.
Okay. All right. So
I'm an
that's
idiot.
just your
Like,
movement?
yeah, you're just moving.
Okay. All right. So for everybody who just joined us or hasn't seen, can you describe what Snap, Crackle, and Pop look like when they are attacking? When they are in attack mode, what does the trench coat look like? Because you are essentially 3 halflings in a trench coat, right?
I am 3 halflings in a trench coat. The one on top has just, all the weapons are on the back, but at various, sort of like pointing out at various points. So whoever's on top just knows where their one is, or just reaches around to get theirs. So his is at the top pointing directly up, so he just picks it up like this. It's all a lot of like shambling mass underneath whoever's on top, because they're constantly fighting to get to the top. So for my next turn, for instance, I roll to see who is on top.
Okay.
Because they're just constantly going for it.
Yeah, constantly fighting to get to the top of the pecking order.
The pole,
So,
top of the totem pole.
sure. All right. So it definitely connects, and you see actually as that hits, he's gonna drop Mr. Wonderful and
Oof.
turn and kind of see what's happening, to see who hit him, and then we will go to. It will actually be the Honeymaster's turn.
So there are 2 rabbits. One has just dropped Mr. Wonderful, and the other one is duking it out with Toucan Slam. Is that right?
Correct. Yep.
So the Honeymaster will run up to the one that is being beaten up by Toucan. He will use his way of the sticky fist. He is still very viscous and matted from his previous application. He is going to strike out with his quarterstaff. It gets 2 attacks with an attack action.
Sure.
First one hits for an 18.
That'll hit.
And that does 9 damage. The second one only gets a 9 to hit.
That will
But-
not hit.
He is going to spend a key point to flurry of blows and get two unarmed strikes as a bonus action. So the first one gets a 14 to hit,
That'll hit.
which does 9 more damage.
Okay.
And with his sticky fist technique, he can. I should just find features and traits. Yes, I can oppose all the following effects: fall prone, get pushed. I'm going to try and knock it prone, so it needs to make a Dex saving throw with difficulty 12.
5.
Excellent. So I flip him onto his back, and then my second unarmed attack gets advantage, which is just as well because that was a 3, for 17
monks.
to hit.
Oh, that'll hit. Tell me, listen, just roll. What's your dice for your attack?
What, the damage?
Just what dice do you roll for your attack? Is it a d6, a d10?
It's a d6, a d6 plus 3 for the unarmed strike.
Okay, so if you just don't fail this critically,
I do another 9. I rolled another 6.
yeah. So
I sweep his legs out from under him. I strike him between the eyes to stun him. Sweep his legs out from under him with a classic, scumbag fighting game low kick. And then, as he falls, I axe kick him between the eyes and crush his head against the flagstones of the courtyard. And presumably, Trick's shrapnel flies in all directions.
Yes,
As
exactly.
his crispy outer shell shatters, revealing the gooey nougat of the actual rabbit guy within.
Yes, yeah. So you see just this flurry of the Honeymaster in all of his billowing robes, just hammering away at this exterior, this exoskeleton. And as he finally gets that last attack and that hit makes purchase and it explodes into this dust, you see the Trix rabbit slumped over dead there. And it is definitely dead. So now you only have the one rabbit left that is now turned and making its way back into the fray. And it is...
I have much to learn.
It is...
Over the downed enemy.
It is his turn, and he's going to go for Slam again, because he's the one that is there, kind of closest to him. A 19 to hit.
Yep,
And
that'll hit.
that is 8 points of force damage. I'm sorry.
Cool. That means I actually take full damage, I'm pretty sure. But I still have some temporary health points from eating Lucky Charms marshmallows that I
Correct,
found
yeah.
on the forest floor. So
Yeah. Yes.
Nothing forbidden floor food.
yeah.
Floor food. And Mr. Wonderful, if you want to roll for initiative, you're welcome to now, since
Hey.
you are now no longer grappled. And
So I'm on the ground, right? I just fell.
yep, you fell.
Alright.
Yep.
If I look up at the throne, do I see finally who was sitting there?
Yeah, you definitely see Count Chocula in all of his chocolatey glory.
So in this universe, if a cereal brand is part of like General Mills, like he's General Mills, I'm General Mills, do we know each other?
Yes.
Or does he not know me because I'm discontinued?
No, you guys would know each other, but across the board, you would know all of the mascots kind of live in this town. So you definitely, as soon as you see him, there's a moment of eyes locking and him just kind of like, just giving a very ominous motion to, that's it, it's your time to be dead.
Chucky, why are you gonna be like that? We know each other. We go to the bar every now and then. What you doing here? Why you trying to kidnap me them Trix rabbits?
And he will say nothing. I'm going to roll his initiative as well.
Oh boy, it's on.
And Sable, use your real name, Sable or Mr. Wonderful. What is your initiative roll?
Disappointingly, it's going to have to be 21.
21. Okay. So we will have Count and Sable, or I'm gonna keep calling you by your fucking user
Fine.
handle. Mr. Wonderful enter the fray in the next round. We will go to Tony the Tiger for this last initiative bit.
And the first thing Tony's going to do is run to Mr. Wonderful and try and help him up off the ground.
Thank you, big guy. I appreciate it.
That's not a problem. That's what friends are here for. That's why we're all here together, to defeat the forces of evil and recover our friends. And that is why we look for you, Mr. Wonderful. Wonderful by name, wonderful by flavor. And I'm going to give you a
You are
bardic
all of us.
inspiration
Yeah.
to use however you like.
Oh, this is gonna hurt. Thank you.
Boom. So you've got a bardic inspiration to use. And then I'm going to look to the throne with Count Chocula. I'll be like, you did this. You. And I'm going to cast Cutlery Draw, which is a reflavoring of the Cloak of Daggers spell. Rather than daggers, it's knives and forks and spoons and sporks and everything else that you have tucked away. There's like a whisk. There's a spatula and one of those things for getting fish scales off. Like, there's loads of bits and bobs that all
Potato
suddenly
peeler.
materialize and fly towards the throne and form a 5-foot square of spinning blades of cutlery, which he is trapped in. Anyone entering that 5-foot square automatically takes damage. There is no save. You just take the damage. It's a concentration spell, so I need to remember that. But anyone sat on the throne will take 10 points of slashing damage as the spoons and forks begin to spin and fly into him.
Yeah, so just an FYI, you have a +2 from chat, so be mindful of that, Tony the Tiger. As you cast that and all of these spoons and knives hit Count Chocula, you will see him kind of writhe and scream out, and you will see that he does not look like the rest of the creatures that you've seen. He very much looks like himself. He is not baned with the same issues as before, so. And we are at the top of the round, and on that, we will say it is Mr. Wonderful. He will begin the next round of initiative.
Do I understand that he basically says, I'm done, I'm finished, I'm over?
Yeah, you definitely see that he is aggressive towards you. It is not, he's not speaking necessarily, but.
I'm going to ask him one question before I do anything. He decides it. Chucky, why are you doing this, Chucky? Why are you so? What's the aggro for, my man? I mean, come on now, you got to talk to me. I know you. I helped you out. I coached you. I mentored you.
And he's going to he's not going to move from the 5 feet because he can't necessarily until his turn. So he's going to stand up from the throne and he's going to say, you all understand how this world is working. Nobody wants sugary cereals. They want acai bowls and fruit and healthy things. We are a done deal. And I have made a pact. I have made a pact to continue to survive. It is not on me if you do not choose to come with me. And that is how he'll answer.
Mr. Wonderful kind of just looks down and like he understands because he's not a serial mascot anymore. He lives in the village. He just, it's Chucky. We all gotta retire sometime. It's part of the big great picture.
And he is not saying anything. He is just deadpan. And he's actually, on his turn, going to make his action, so.
Mr. Wonderful is going to cast Melf's Minute Chocolate Meteors. As the chocolate meteors on his jacket fly up, you create 6 tiny chocolate meteors in your space. They float in the air and orbit you for the spell's duration, which is 10 minutes of concentration. When you cast the spell, you can act as a bonus action on your turns thereafter. You can expend 1 or 2 meteors at a time, sending them streaking across a point where they explode 120 feet away from me. So 240 because I got Spell Sniper. Once it reaches, I can make them explode, causing a dex saving throw to all creatures in a 5-foot radius, dealing 2d6 fire damage on a failed save or half as much as successful. I'm just prepping myself up. I'm just shocked. I can't believe that he's saying this kind of stuff, that he doesn't understand the system.
Mm-hmm. So he needs what kind of save?
I'm not attacking him. I'm just
Okay.
having them floating around me.
Floating around you. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So it is going to be. Are you going to do anything else?
No, I'm just
Okay.
shocked.
Then it will be his turn, and he will see you and kind of the meteors, and he will take in all of these different mascots that are entering into the fray, and point at you and cast running milk. So it he has a, hang on, let me double check. He has a spell save. It is a dex save of 16.
I have to roll a 16 dexterity.
Yes, please.
Okay. I would like to use my Tides of Chaos.
Okay.
And
Explain
it
to me
allows
what
me
that
once
is.
per turn, I can have advantage on a roll involving a check, a save, or ability check. Therefore, after, I have to roll a magic search table immediately.
Okay.
So let me try this one more time. Nat 20.
Okay. So you and then you have to roll on your wild magic table, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So you see him kind of just start chanting and muttering to himself, and as his hands, you can see what would be like a fireball-ish looking thing, but it is white. And as you kind of like hone in magically, and he's trying to hold on to this spell, and it just dissipates, you can see the rage kind of come over his face, and he is going to attempt to move out of the spoons slapping him in the face.
Yeah, well, he needs to. If he moves through the zone, then he takes the damage.
What is the damage again?
So it is 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Catches himself on some sharp handles. Oof.
All right. So he's going to take that damage. He's going to dart through his full speed, which is his full 30 feet, and come probably just about toe-to-toe with Mr. Wonderful.
Okay.
And then we are back to...
I got to roll my wild magic.
Good eye. Go for it.
Says 93.
Right. Your size increases by 1 size category for the next minute.
So I'm medium, so I'm now large.
You're now large.
Oh, wonderful!
And as he kind of like slides up, because he has kind of like the same spider climb ability, he moves very quick. As he comes up in your melee and you start just enlarging yourself, his eyes are going to go kind of wide, just kind of shocked at what's happening. And it is now Slam's turn.
Yes. So okay, first question, are both of the rabbits down, or is there still one left?
There is still one left.
Great. So, having the grudge that Slam has, he is going to approach the one remaining rabbit. He's going to look him in the eyes. You know, you've never been any fun since you got rid of your wonderful fruit-shaped goodness and turned to terrible puffs. Ever since then, you've changed. And he's going to smash the rabbit with 2 spoon attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And I shit you not, like double crit. Like, I need to take a picture of this. This grudge is real.
It is intense.
That's muy picante.
My hands are too sweaty to get the fingerprint sensor. Alright. Okay. Is there any chance that this rabbit is still standing? Do you want me to roll damage or?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, he had taken some pretty solid hits, I think, from Snap, Crackle, and Pop earlier. So.
Yeah. So he's just going to completely just obliterate like this rabbit. This is you're not for children anymore. And neither is this. Children, look away. And he starts at the top of the rabbit's head and just slam, slam, slam until it's just goo on the floor. And
Sure.
while he's raging, Slam is kind of twisted. He licks the spoon once again.
Yeah, of course.
And that's the end of his turn. And I think I have an important package, so at the end of my turn, I'm going to go check my door real quick.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So you guys see Slam turn into this just absolute animal for a second. And as this rabbit kind of just disperses and the dust flies, again, inside you just see a normal rabbit just dead on the floor. And as that all happens, you see the Count kind of look over and he sticks a couple fingers in his mouth and whistles. And snap, crackle, pop, it is your turn.
Let's see whose turn. It's Crackle's turn. So there's a dead rabbit on the floor in front of me, like a little rabbit, right?
Yeah, just a dead rabbit, yep. Just a
You
small
reckon it weighs
little
more
rabbit.
than 5 pounds?
No, probably not.
Can I catapult a rabbit at Count Chocula?
You absolutely can. Yes.
So catapult, it's a Dex 15.
Okay, so you got a 17.
Oh,
He has a
so a
pretty high
rabbit's just
dex.
going to fling past him and splat on the wall.
Am I too big? Because I'm 10 by 10 feet.
Are you going to him and hit the next guy?
It
That
continues.
works?
Yeah, it continues to travel until it hits something. So it, I would say, probably depending on the location, Mr. Wonderful, if you want to give a dex save as well, to just
Yeah.
make sure that you're not hit with the catapulted
Yeah.
rabbit.
I'll do that for sure.
Is this what people wanted for breakfast?
8.
An 8?
You do have a
An
bardic inspiration die.
You've got Bardic
No.
Inspiration and you've got
I'm good.
haven't you got chat as well?
Oh, I do. Yes, Lauren gave me a 2, but I'm going to save that. I have an idea for those.
All right. So with a dex save of 8, Crackle, what happens with the rabbit? Does it impacts Mr. Wonderful, right?
Yes, for 3d8.
Oh my.
So far you've poured moldy caustic
milk
milk
on
over
you.
me. You've splattered a dead bunny up, Mr. Wonderful.
That's 10 damage though. That's
10. Oh, thank goodness. Whew.
and I also have to roll for wild magic on that.
Yep.
That scared me for a minute.
I've rolled a 1.
Oh my. Okay, so roll a d100. We'll go ahead and do your table.
Oh god. A 99.
Oh no.
What is it? 99.
You regain all expended sorcery points if you're using. So you regain all of
I
your.
haven't used any.
Okay. Well,
Yep.
Mr. Wonderful's like, cool.
Yeah. Don't worry about me. I just got like 3.
So.
I've got nothing else. I'm going to look very sheepishly at myself and disappear into my coat.
Sure.
I just look over my shoulder and just be
Understandably.
like, what?
A bit of a rabbit on your back.
Just peel it off.
Yeah, so you guys see the impact of this rabbit just splatter across, and you see Mr. Wonderful kind of like hunch
Beautiful.
forward
White coat.
all over the white coat. It is just covered in viscera and blood and bone, and just take that off. Yeah, I want to go ahead and take that off. And it is now
I'll give you the dry clean.
it is it is the Honeymaster's turn.
Okay. How far away is Count Chocula from the cutlery death zone?
He's probably a good 20 feet or so.
Okay. The Honeymaster is going to commando roll past Mr. Wonderful to get next to Count Chocula. And he says, "Great corruption in you. Let honey banish it with the sweetness of pain." And he's going to strike out with his quarterstaff. It gets 2 attacks with the action.
Sure.
The first one gets 9, and then the second, winner, gets an 8. And I think I have to hit with my attack. Do I have to hit with my attack to get Flurry of Blows? Let's have a look. Features and traits. Key points. Flurry of Blows. After you take the, you can spend. Okay, I'll spend a key point to attack with unarmored combat twice.
Okay.
First attack gets a 17.
That one will hit.
Excellent. That is 7 damage.
Okay.
I am going to... I'm going to spend another key point to use Stunning Strike with my sticky honey palm encased technique. He must make a Constitution saving throw, difficulty 12, or be stunned until the end of my next turn. Its next turn. Yeah, my next turn.
11 with 4, so 15 total on his con
So
save.
he passes, and the second unarmed strike gets a 14 to hit.
14 to hit. That will not hit.
That will not hit. Okay, so I flap about a bit uselessly.
Yeah, I mean, just in the flurry of all of your movement, a couple of them swing wide, and he's able to kind of dodge out of the way.
I realise that I must respect the power of undeath, this otherworldly grace with which his pact with evil has granted him.
And then he is going to, it is his turn. Or wait, no, I lied. I'm sorry. It is Tony the Tiger's turn.
Tony is going to survey the situation and frown at that he just walked through his cutlery death zone and is going to sort of steel himself, look at his comrades, and then just charge straight down the middle and try and like shoulder barge and push him back away from his friends and towards the death zone. Just sort of like a full body tackle.
Okay. So I will do, are you trying to grapple?
I want to shove, really. I think
it's
for more of a shove.
Is it opposed strength checks to shove?
Yeah, I would say
I
that.
think so.
Well, he didn't do great, so.
I got a 21.
All right, he got an 8.
I think you shove him 5 feet, I think.
For shoving. So yeah, you shove him.
That puts him within 15 feet of the death zone, which is perfect because I can push him 15 feet with my ninja skills.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
I'm thinking that Toucan Slam also can push and fight people and whatnot. So getting him that extra 5 feet and shoving him, and I look at him and just go, "Keep your chocolatey fangs away from my friends."
A magnanimous sensation.
He will hiss, just like angrily at you as you say that. And
Get you a bit of the breakfast table.
it is Mr. Wonderful's turn.
Okay, so Count Chocula has been pushed all the way back to the death zone, right? At the throne?
He's 15 feet away from the zone
15,
now, I think.
Okay.
Yep, 15 feet from.
So I'm going to sit there and how far am I from him?
He came up into your melee, so he's probably about 5 feet from you.
Okay. So what I want to do is I'd like to start off with using a bonus action to fire 2 of my Melf's meteors at him, the chocolate balls. He needs to make 2 dex saves against my spell save, which is a 15.
Okay. 15 on the first and a 6 on the second.
Okay. I'm going to immediately start off by using Bend Luck on him to reduce that 1 save by 1 point. So it's a hit.
Yeah.
So 2d6 times 2. Roll. That's an 8 and a 10, so 18 points of fire damage as it explodes.
So as that explodes, and does he get pushed back any with that explosion?
It doesn't say. It's up to you.
Okay. I'll say he stays.
And that was just a bonus action.
All right. And what are you doing for your action?
I'm going to cast Snylock's Sugary Swarm. Point blank on him. 5-foot radius. A flurry of magical sugar erupts from the point of you choosing from. The creature within the 5-foot radius sphere centered at the point must make another dex saving throw or take 3d6 cold damage on a failed save or have as much on a successful. So I'll let you make that save.
Okay. I got a natural 20.
Okay, so half is 6 damage.
Mm-hmm. All right. Alrighty, and is that it?
Yep. I'll just look at him and be like, you know better than this, Chalky. You can't go doing this kind of stuff. It's the natural order of things. Serial mascots get benched all the time. Look at me.
So as he hears you, he's going to straighten his cloaks and kind of just like straighten himself up a bit and straighten his back, and he's going to use his one of his regenerations, and you will see some of the damage you guys have been kind of hitting with him. He's just kind of going to kind of brush it off, straighten himself up, and he's going to regain some hit points.
Am I?
And then he is going to take, that was a bonus action, so he's going to legendary action, attempt to run forward the 5 feet towards Mr. Wonderful and go for a bite attack.
Okay.
With a 16 to hit.
Let me just look real quick. Did I get a... Okay, yeah, that's definitely gonna hit. He jumps down. Num.
So that is 9 points of damage total as he clenches into your, I'll say he grabs a hold of your arm, trying to get up your body to your neck, but not quite making it there and just grabbing a hold of your arm.
Chalky, get off me.
And you can definitely feel some of your life force kind of just dissipating as that happens. And now we are at Slam.
All right, so going with the plan, he's gonna step up to Chocula and look at him. It's not even your season yet, Chocula. You're supposed to stay away until Halloween. And then try to slam him with the spoon twice. If both are successful, it'll knock him back 10 more feet towards the death cutlery drawer.
Yeah.
Well, one's an 11 and one's a dirty 20.
The dirty 20 will hit.
Okay, so he's gonna be moved 5 feet instead of 10. And that's going to be a total of 13 bludgeoning damage. And then as a bonus action, he's going to make the flump with spoon tentacles reappear right behind Chocula's head. Which is weird because you can technically do it this way, but then my turn's going to end, so it's immediately going to explode. I will also do a dexterity check because I'm staying right with him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he has to do a dexterity saving throw.
15? Well, I don't know what your dex... I mean, he got a 15.
Let's see. I don't know if the table said, but we'll check. I succeeded for sure. Succeed on a dexterity saving throw. It doesn't have... Oh, if the effect requires a saving throw, the DC equals 8 plus your proficiency bonus, which is 11, plus my constitution. Oh, he saves. So he saves as well. So neither... Do we take half damage? I don't think either of us take any damage. Well, shucks. All right, that is the end of Slam's turn, unless you'll let him have his movement and fly, like just kick off the ground a tiny bit and fly both of them into the cutlery drawer cloud. It's up to you.
I mean, I like it, so I'm gonna let you do it. But I also would like for you to roll on a good table. So give me a D10 so I can know who to do the good table for.
Cool. You got it. Are you Are you talking about what Sarah said or a different thing?
Yes. Yep.
She gave heals. So.
Oh, it was heals. Okay,
yes.
Never mind. I thought it was a good table.
Cool.
Never mind.
Yeah. So what Slam is gonna do is he'll just lift up a little bit and just swoop his wings, just whoof, and get both of them into the cloud, and try to hold Chocula there. What's the damage, good old Tony?
It is. So you would both take. It's slashing damage, so hopefully you'll get some resistance against that.
Yes.
Fingers crossed.
I do.
But, what is it? Cutlery draw. You will both take 8 points of slashing damage.
Cool. I have now taken 1 actual damage to my actual health.
You want to use one of the heals? Can we get that sorted out?
Yeah. I feel like the sorcerer in the group is the only one who's taken any damage so far.
Well, we've got 5d4 of healing to use, thanks to Cleric Sarah. So.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
That is the end of my turn, and I'm just menacingly trying to hold us in the cloud.
All right. It is Snap, Crackle, Pop.
So I'm assuming then there's people within 10 feet of Chocula. If I used Tidal Wave of Milk just on the other side of them so it only hits, and then would it rush him in more towards the cloud, or more into the cloud of milk? Or of cutlery, sorry?
He is actually in the cloud.
Oh, he's already in the cloud, isn't he?
With Slam. Slam is holding him in the cloud.
Oh, I see. Oh, to be fair, I haven't rolled to see who's going to do it. Oh, no, it's the tap. Yeah, it is. He can't do that anyway. So at this point, did you say he blew a whistle?
Yep, and that's coming up next. After you two. After you and... Nope, after you.
After me.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm going to move more towards the cloud and just try and throw a spoon shiv into the cloud as well. The cutlery swarm, rather.
Okay.
Just throwing another bit in there.
Okay.
Directly at the count.
Go for it.
It was a 21 to hit.
Oh, that'll hit.
7 damage.
7 damage. So, yeah, as you throw this extra dagger, or, sharpened whatever piece of cutlery you throw, as you do that, it definitely connects. You can see it makes purchase, but you can also hear the padding of, like, something running towards you, and they actually matched on initiative, so they're gonna go at the same time just to make it easier for me. And it is 2 dark brown woven creatures, dire wolves, and they're going to come just barreling into the room, and you're gonna hear a cookie crisp, and they're going to go.
Oh.
One is going to go for a bite attack at Snap, Crackle, Pop. So I will roll, what did we say, a D6?
Yeah.
On who attacks? Oh, I dropped my dice. That is a 6.
So that's on Pop?
Yes. Okay. So it's going to be a bite attack with a 15 to hit.
That'll hit.
All right. And wow, he rolled a 1. A 3 piercing. As he runs a little bit too quick, he tries to just kind of snatch you up out of the trench coat and bites down, hitting you with a little bit of damage. And then the second one is going to go for Tony. With a 16 to hit as well. The second one is also going to come in with a bite attack.
That will hit.
All right. With 5 piercing.
Oof.
And the Count is just going to laugh maniacally, and turning to Slam, he's going to say, "I could do this all day." And Next up is...
I failed my con save, so I can't concentrate on my cutlery drawer anymore.
Oh, okay, so the cutlery all clatters to the floor.
Clang to the ground.
The plan.
Clatters to the floor.
Did that
and
wolf
then,
take me out of the trench coat?
give me a dex save. Let's just do dex, like,
It's a dex save, yeah?
yeah, just let's see what...
16.
Okay, yeah, you're good.
Oh.
Because their dex is high, but it's not that. With a 16, you're good. So you're still in the trench coat, and then it is now Honeymaster's turn.
All right, Honeymaster. So there's... All right, he's going to run through the throne room, up to the throne, where Count Chocula and Toucan Slam are tussling. And he's going to use Wear the Sticky Fist to batter 7 shades out of Count Chocula. Having summoned his creatures of the night, he's truly shown the depths of his corruption. One attack gets an 11. The second quarterstaff attack gets a 20 to hit.
The 20 will hit for sure.
Excellent. For 9 bludgeoning damage. Then I'm going to spend a key point to get Flurry of Blows.
Okay.
To get 2 unarmed attacks. One strike. First strike will get 14 to hit.
Let me just double check. That will not hit.
Will not hit. And the second attack is a natural 20, 26 to hit.
Whoa.
That is 2d6.
Yeah, that'll hit.
For 10 damage.
Okay.
And I am going to spend a sticky fist technique. He has to make a dexterity saving throw or fall prone.
Okay. What is the save?
12, difficulty 12.
You got a 15.
I see. And that is the end of the Honeymaster's turn.
So the Honeymaster just swoops in again, just pummeling the hell out of him. And we are at the top of the round with Mr. Wonderful. You are up.
Christy, I want to apologize for this. This is going to be a long one.
Never apologize.
You're fine.
Never apologize, never explain.
So I would like to begin my amazing Mr. Wonderful day by converting a spell slot. I will convert my 3rd level spell into 5 sorcery points, refreshing me down to 0 sorcery points.
Okay.
0 wasted. Okay. I'm going to ask, how close are the Cookie Crisp bowls to each other?
The wolves, I would say probably about 15, 20 feet.
So they're not near each other at all. Okay.
They're not. No, I mean they would have gone for 2 separate people, unless Tony and Snap, Crackle, and Pop are immediately next to each other.
Will you permit me to fire 2 meteors at different targets?
Yeah, they'll hit.
Okay. That's a dex save for the wolves,
Okay.
actually.
Okay.
So let's start off with that. I'm going to fire both my meteors off at the wolves, so 2 dex saves from either of them.
So I got a 5 and a 14.
My spell save is 15.
All right, so neither one of them succeed.
So they take, I'm just going to roll this and just apply to both of them. That's a, oh my goodness, I forgot I haven't been doing it right. It's 11 plus my spell attack, 18. Forgot that last turn.
Oh, to hit, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, it's 11 fire damage to both of them. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and look over at Count Chocula, who is he with Toucan Slam?
He's on the throne with Toucan Slam, and I'm next to them, beating living hell out of Count Chocula.
I'm going to cast Enlarge on myself to bump up another class size from large to huge.
So you're huge.
Oh boy.
And I'm going to start stomping and lumbering 15 by 15 feet over to Count Chocula.
Okay.
And I would like to pick him up with a grapple. And I'm going to use all the bonuses that I've got for this.
All right.
I'm going to use the 2 I got from Chrissy, and I got to use the D4 from Al.
Mm-hmm. D6.
D6. Oh, thank you, Al. And if I'm correct, a grapple, was it athletics or acrobatics? I always forget that.
Athletics or acrobatics. I'll take either.
Whoop.
Acrobatics, I think.
That's
Athletics.
a 19 plus a 2, which is a 21. Does that pass or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna save the
Yeah.
inspiration. So I'm just gonna be holding
Yeah.
Count Chocula up in my arm and just be like, Chalky, you're gonna have to cut the crap out.
Yeah. So, as you did, is that the end of your turn?
That's it. I'm
Okay. So he is going to make hard eye contact with you again, and he's going to just give it up. Give up now. And he's going to Misty escape from you. So he is going to attempt to bamf out of your hands. And here's to hoping this actually works. Of course not. He rolled a natural 1. Fuck.
hold him nice and
God
tight. You're not going
damn it.
anywhere.
And seeing as he tries to center himself, I'm so frustrated with that. As he tries to center himself to like get away from you and sees that it's not working, he is going to bonus action regenerate some of his HP, and he is just going to try to continuously wiggle, knowing that he's not going to be able to quite escape your grapple.
Count, your chakras are misaligned. Let's fix that.
I'm gonna lower him down so they can get nice units on him.
So, and then we are at Toucan Slam.
Oh, how is good old Chalky Chalk looking?
He's pretty hurt, but he's still holding on. He's still got some fight in him.
Can we see if we can make him not holding on?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. I don't think really there's too much else I can do unless I want to give up my attacks, which I don't want to do quite yet. So he's just gonna do what he does best and hit him with two good old slams.
Go for it.
Let's pull out the dice that got me the double D20 or the double nat 20.
Don't forget the grapple condition.
Mm-hmm.
And grapple is just you can't move.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, speed is 0. Benefit for bonus to his speed.
Yep, I'm only gonna attack. All right, here we go. So that is a 17 and a 15.
Those will both hit.
All right, let's go max damage. All right. Ooh, so that is a 16 on the first hit, 16 bludgeoning. So he'll get pushed 5 feet back, and so I just go with him as we're tussling. And the second one is going to be 14 bludgeoning damage.
Yeah. So you are just with your spoon just hammering away at him, and as he's grappled, kind of even. So definitely connecting your hits, and he is not enjoying it at all. And snap, crackle, pop. It is your turn.
It is. Snaps go. Where's? I've lost Snaps hat. Oh, it's in there. It was on a puppet. As it would be.
Sure.
So Count Chocula is looking pretty ropey, right?
Yeah, he's not doing great.
Lovely. So I'm going to pull out the banana phone.
Sure. Yes. I forgot about
and
the
I'm going to
fucking
message
banana
him. I'm going to message Count Chocula.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say, don't go crying over spilt milk. And then I'm going to action surge.
Okay.
So now I can hit him with a war spoon.
Yeah.
While he's being grappled. Also looking confused. He might look a bit confused as to what just happened.
He hears your voice in his mind, and he is so confused. And he is grappled by a giant Mr. Wonderful and being just beaten to hell by a Toucan Slam. So he is definitely very confused. So go for the attack.
22 to hit.
A 22 to hit will hit.
With 11 damage.
11 damage. All right.
And that's me done.
All right. And it is the dire wolves, the Cookie Crisp wolves' turn. And they will again go for an attack on Snap, Crackle, Pop and Tony. With a 14 to hit for Snap, Crackle, Pop. And a 17 to hit for Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit.
Does a 14 hit you, Snap, Crackle, Pop?
14. Sorry, Snap's. No.
No?
Oh, no, we need to work out who it's going to hit. Sorry.
Oh, that's right. 4.
4 is Crackle. So, yes, it does.
Okay, all right. So for Tony, you took 7 points of piercing damage, and Crackle will take 5. Another 5. And then it is... I've lost track of our initiative. Oh no. No, I didn't. Just kidding. It is now the Honeymaster's turn.
So the Honeymaster is going to strike out with his quarterstaff, hoping that if Count Chocula were to fall, the evil would be ended. His first strike, however, only gets an 11.
That will not hit.
His second attack gets a 22 to hit.
Oh, that will hit.
For, just have to double check what that is. Plus 4, so 11 damage.
I'd like to bend luck for that 11.
So what, to get an extra D4, is that?
Yep. Let me boop, boop, and go ahead and roll an extra D4.
Yeah, so that is an extra 1.
Can I also bend luck, as Crackle was just hit?
Ah!
yeah, you can.
He was just hit, so he pokes his head out of the coat.
Just
So
out of the
an
middle
extra
of the coat, you
Out
see
of the middle of the
Crackle's
coat,
head.
just a
Sure.
little head pops out, and he's like,
It's an extra 2.
Okay.
And then I'm going to spend my final key point. I shall inhale, exhale, as the energy lines of the world bow and ripple around me. I have 1 attack. Bonk. That is a 12 to hit.
The 12 will not hit.
And the second is a 21 to hit.
That one will hit.
That does 4 damage.
Okay.
And I am going to, he will need to make a dexterity saving throw, difficulty 12, will be knocked prone as I sweep the leg.
Okay, yeah. So he is still grappled.
Yeah.
So you can definitely
I'll render him unable to make reactions
okay,
this
all right.
turn.
Cool.
So
All right.
open hand technique. Can't take reactions to the end of my next turn.
Yes. Okay.
Nice and simple.
Perfect. And then it will be Tony's turn.
Honeymaster got given a reroll during all of that madness from Corn Dog, saying, make the other one hit. I don't know if it's too late.
I think that was me. I didn't notice it in all of the excitement, I'm afraid.
There's a lot going on.
If I can give someone else my reroll, I will do. I don't know what the house rules of the of chat interaction are.
Well,
You
what Tony will
can
do.
always save it for next time as well.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I would
He's
suggest
gonna-
saving it.
Okay.
Look at Chocula and cast Vicious Mockery. Be like, okay, Chocula, you're all washed up and it's time for your plans to be shelved. And he's gonna, bam, he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right.
You've gone soggy in your old age.
15 total?
15 is what they needed.
Oh, all right. So he is just going to stare at you, just shaking his head as if the bad joke, man, not working. And top of the round, Mr. Wonderful, you are grappling him. You have him in your hands.
Okay. Let's finish off this meteor. I'm going to use my last 2 meteors against the dogs.
Okay.
So both of them need to roll some dex saves.
All right. I got a 19 for one and a 3 for the second.
So let's bend some luck right there on the 19.
Okay.
And that's going to be -3, which is he still passes. Drat. Okay. So 2d6s, and that's going to be a total of 9 damage for one and half of that for the other.
Okay.
Okay. So I got 2 of those left. What to do? Okay. So I'm holding them in my hands,
Correct.
and I would like to meta magic, quicken spell, and with my last 2 spell slots for 2nd level, I'd like to cast 2 Sneelock's Sugary Swarms centered on my hands on Count Chocula.
Okay.
So that would be 2 dex saves for Count.
12 and a 15. I've been rolling 15s on these dice.
So the 15 passes because you're a defender, so that's half damage on one roll, but the other one is full. So he's going to take a grand total of 9 for the first one, and half of 16, so 8, so 17 damage. Ice.
7. Okay.
As milk and sugar just swarm him in my grasp.
So you can see, his ears are starting to bleed, and he is definitely he's very bloodied right now. He is definitely hit, and it is his turn, and he is going to mutter a few things under his breath, and at 4th level, cast polymorph. And he is going to change into a giant dire wolf as well. So he's...
Now you're just mixing brands up.
He just wants to be able to use the pack tactics. Sorry, that's... So he is going to drop from your hands as he is now on the ground as a dire wolf polymorphed. And then we will go to... He's going to bonus action regen his final regen on his HP. So he's doing a little better. And now we are at Toucan Slam.
Sorry, I had to Google something real quick. We're in an enclosed room now, though, like a room in a tower, right?
Correct, yep.
Let's see. There's not an official rule, I don't think, on this. I'm just trying to see what the how much do you think he weighs now as a wolf?
He is a large beast, so
like a bear or like a tiger, because dire wolves are bigger than wolves, aren't they? They're like fantasy badass wolves.
Yep.
So if he weighs the same as Tony,
so 650 pounds or something.
Yeah, he's a large creature for sure.
All right,
it's like a sumo wrestler and a half.
A chonky boy.
All right, I won't do that. I'll just keep on keeping on. For at least one more turn, I'm going to slam him with the spoon twice. And one is a dirty 20, and one is sadly an 8. So...
All right, the dirty 20 will hit.
All right.
If someone makes a role-playing bar, they should call it the Dirty 20.
So that's going to be 12 bludgeoning damage, and then this time the wolf is slid 5 feet back. I'm going to make the flump with spoon tentacles appear, and then end my turn, and it will explode. I will also do a dex save. I succeed.
He got an 11.
He does not succeed. So he's gonna take 5 force damage as the tentacle flump explodes behind his head.
All right. right. So, yeah, he definitely is pushed back, and he is a little bit closer now to his pack, and he's going to turn to them and kind of nod his dire wolf head, and he's going to go, motion for them to move to different targets. And from there, we are at Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Okay. And it is the go of... Oh, I'm wearing it. It's Snap's go.
Okay.
So Snap is going to... Oh, he could do another booming spoon on one of the wolves. Can I discern which one's which? Or are they all looking...
I'll say that you can tell that the one was in like melee with you, so you know which one that is.
Yeah.
And the other one would have been a little bit further into the room, so you can definitely tell which one polymorphed for sure. Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to booming spoon the one next to me.
Okay.
Which I got a dirty 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
With 10 plus booming 1d8, which is 8.
Okay. So how you don't need to do much more. They only have 37 hit points in between Mr. Wonderful last time and you doing that. How would you describe Snap, Crackle, and Pop killing a massive dire wolf as their 3 tiny halfling bodies?
So the spoon is lit up with thunderous rage within this spoon, this giant war spoon. So they're gonna... Snap is going to spin while the rest of his body stays still to get a good wind up on this hit.
Sure.
And crack this wolf in the stomach and say, "You've got irritable bowel syndrome."
Oh, this is very good. Sure. And as you say that last sentence, you're going to see its eyes get wide and kind of buckle into itself. And it is down. And
Lovely.
now...
step over it and carry on my pursuit onto the others.
Yeah, so the second is seeing the other dire wolves kind of head jerk, kind of like change targets. Don't worry about those two. Get these ones. He's going to run over towards Toucan and go for a bite attack. And he has advantage now since they are both Toucan and everyone is kind of all in the same spot. So he's running up. That's a 17 to hit.
Yep.
I rolled again just to see, and it was a 6. So, and we will do 4. So that'll be 8 total bite damage.
Cool. Piercing?
Piercing, yes.
Cool.
And that will be his turn. And then we are at the Count's turn. So the Count is looking bloodied and rough, and he is polymorphed into the dire wolf, and he is going to go for the Mr. Wonderful's ankle. Since he is a gigantic creature right now, he is just going to go for a bite attack. With a 17 to hit?
Yep.
With 9 total piercing damage?
Oh, that hurts so bad. Okay. Yeah, I'm almost out.
You've got those healing from chat as well.
Chat heals.
Oh, how do those work?
So it's 1d4, and we have a pool of 5d4, so you can use however many you need. We just need to make sure we keep track. I don't need any, so I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good.
I'm only at 9 hit points, so I was wondering. I was like,
Yeah,
Ooh.
just
Use some of those d4s.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So he's going to then turn and he's going to, yeah, he's just going to turn. He's not going to make any movements. He's not doing anything right now. we're just going to keep him there. And it is a Honeymaster's turn.
Okay. I will go. I will center on the direwolf that used to be Count Chocula. I almost called him Strahd. Regrettably, I have no key points left, so I'm just going to have to do this old school. I'm going to lay into him with my quarterstaff, attacking from unexpected angles because I can like stick it to the back of my hands, my forearms and stuff, so he doesn't see where it's coming from. The first gets 15 to hit.
Okay, that'll hit.
For 7 damage. The second attack gets a 20, the dirty 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
For 11 bludgeoning damage. Then, as my bonus action, I'm going to bicycle kick him in the chin, but I miss hopelessly and get a 7.
A 7. So you run up in all your ability, your monkish movements, and just lay out some of these hits. And he was pretty bad before. He had healed a little bit, but now he is looking so rough. It is bad. And we are now at Tony the Tiger.
Seeing this, Tony's gonna steel himself, realize that at this point, words can only take you so far, and it is action that is needed. He's gonna run up to Chocula, take his tablespoon in one arm, his teaspoon in the other, and just wail as best he can with what he's got.
Sure, go for it.
So the main one is a 22 to hit with his tablespoon.
That will hit.
For 9 slashing damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then the teaspoon's going to follow up with his bonus action using 2-weapon fighting for a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
And that is 3 piercing damage.
So how would you like to do this? He had 7 hit points left, so.
Perfect.
Of all people, I was not expecting the one who has stayed out of the fray to be the one to do this. So you could describe how you.
That's
how
it.
you
Just
do
seeing Mr. Wonderful beaten, the monk throwing fists, honey-laden trails in the air like spun sugar. He just darts up, slinks in behind Count Chocula, and just says, "It's time you go back in the packet," and just, Kellogg sends his regards style, shivs him in the back, like in between the ribs, and just goes, shh, 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 and just lays him on the floor.
Yeah.
Be silence now.
Yeah, and as you do that and you gently kind of silently lay him to the ground, you guys can definitely see the other dire wolves now are starting to slowly, and all of the kind of magical effects are definitely shrinking away. And things seem to be, for sure, going back to what would be deemed as a little bit more normal. And the dire wolf, as it comes to and kind of shrinks away, the dust kind of comes off of its natural form. You can see the Cookie Crisp wolf. They're very confused. And he's like, "Oh my God. Jesus, it's been a really long night. Did you find the others? There's like a cell. There's a whole bunch of us. He just kept pulling us out of this cell and making us do his bidding." And if you follow him, he will start walking towards the cell.
Oh, well, thank goodness. Thank my fruits and loops. It's finally over and we can get some second breakfast.
Mr. Wonderful would like to kind of kneel down by the Count's body, just kind of look down at him, because he remembers when he started off as a mascot, he would ask him for hints and how to be a good mascot. He just felt this odd feeling that he had to do this, and he kind of holds him for a minute, but while no one's looking, he's got a sleight of hand, just check all the pockets.
Okay, go for it.
And 7, I'm gonna add the D6 from Al.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a 12.
A 12. Yeah, so you definitely noticed that he was He was wearing very fine robes, everything you would recognize from him. As all the magical stuff started to kind of drop, what you see the most is like across his chest, he had seemed to have a, depending on what languages you speak, it looks like kind of embedded into his chest, an amulet maybe, and there is a little bit of writing around it, but on his person he does not have much.
Can I Arcana?
Sure, go for it.
That is a 17 plus a 24.
Yeah, you definitely recognize it as beyond him just being a vampire by nature, he was definitely a warlock styled, where he had packed magic with warlock imbued. So you can recognize it as like, oh, he definitely had something extra helping him a little bit.
I'd like to cover it back up and just lay him down, not say anything.
Okay. All right. So are you guys collecting the rest of the mascots in the cell and then heading back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everyone, we don't know we're out of the woods just yet. Remember, stay frosty.
I can't. All right.
Keeping a particular eye out for Sir Charms, if Sir Charms is amongst them.
And
Yep.
he is, yes, absolutely. And he, as soon as you see him and you guys, get them out of the cell and the whole 9 yards, he just comes up to you guys and is, oh, I'm so glad you guys figured it out. I tried telling you last night, but I knew everyone was kind of under this spell. But I mean, I'm just so grateful for you. Thank you so much. And you guys can kind of start making your way back towards the town.
Is the actual Trix there?
The actual Trix is there. All of
right.
the actual creatures are there.
Mm-hmm.
Those were just kind of like golem creatures.
So Slam, after feeling kind of bad, sort of, about completely smashing another rabbit, he doesn't really like Lucky Charms because it's not fruity enough. So he just feather palms him to the side and walks over to Trix and puts a wing around. We need to talk about bringing back the fruity shapes. It's time. And then we'll start walking.
Yeah, you'll see him just kind of like shocked at the interaction and surprised and go, yeah, man, absolutely. And you guys can start heading out.
I look very sheepish around Trix as well after splatting a rabbit on the back of Mr. Wonderful.
Sure.
He doesn't need to know about that.
No, we're just going to cover up the patch on the jacket.
You're definitely got to my dry cleaning for that.
Yeah.
Ignore that.
The other puddle, I just like hold a wing out so that he can't see as we walk past it.
Yeah. So you guys very safely managed to make your way back to the town of Tell, and if you'd like to go to the tavern, you can. If not, this would be a great spot. We can end the adventure. I will give you guys a minute to go around, explain what your characters would do after being these heroic, amazing creatures of the realm. What would that look like for you guys? We'll start with, I think, Al, you're first in overlay, right?
Sure. Well, Tony he's got a lot of responsibilities. He's got a lot on. He's got his B gym to take care of now. He's got to go back, check on his clients, make sure everyone is keeping up with their schedules. I don't want people to start dipping. He's got to make sure that, they have a nice, healthy, nutritious bowl of sugar in the morning to set you up for the day, and then your workout regime of hours on hours of nothing but elevated push-ups. So he's got his gym to go and run. He's got all his business to keep ticking over. Plus, obviously, he's got his public speaking to do. He's got to book in a couple more dinner dates for public speaking events, and generally keep the peace about town. He's a busy chap.
All right. And who's next? I think that is the Honeymaster.
The Honeymaster has been troubled by what he's witnessed. Perhaps he's been lax in merely accepting the surface qualities of the world as what they appear to be. Yet, somewhere beneath the surface, there bubbled a terrible corruption that took the heart not only of some unsuspecting foolish person, but of the Count himself, one of the wisest and noblest in every sense of all the mascots. If one like him can fall so far, surely any of us can. This is a counterpoint to the beauty and order of the world that he admires so much, and he meditates upon this and dedicates himself now to a new phase in his contemplations. That beneath the surface, perhaps, there is something from which all good things need to be protected from.
Nice and introspective. Wonderful. Next up.
Well, we're going to head back to the village in the hopes that we can find the great artificer, Professor Wheato, in the attempt to get him to build us full-on mech suits so that we don't come tumbling apart at random intervals. So that's the journey for them. They're going to continue rolling around, fighting for dominance amongst themselves until they can find themselves a three-headed mech suit of which they can live side by side.
Absolutely.
With the help of Professor Wheato.
Absolutely. All right. And next up is Mr. Wonderful.
Okay, so everyone heads back to town. I guess a few brewskis are had, celebration. As everyone starts disappearing, Mr. Wonderful stays in the tavern for a bit, entertains some people, talks about the glory days, and as night comes by, he pays his tab, kind of half drunk, half there, wanders out, takes a look around, and takes the first right into the alley next to the bar. He progresses down a few feet before he stops and removes a plank of wood off the side of the building, exposing a hole in the wall. And he comes in, he closes it after him, and he's in there. He lights a little candle. It's a small, maybe 3 by 7 foot room. There's a little mattress on the floor, and he's sitting there. And he takes a deep breath as he grabs a box in this bare, empty corner, desolate room, and he kind of starts going through it. There's photos, there's contracts, there's a termination letter. As he picks up the album, he's kind of just like going through it, and he's looking at the pictures of all the him with General Mills and the other serial mascots. And he stops the one with Count Chocula as a younger Count Chocula and him as a younger Mr. Wonderful. And he thinks to himself, if what had been different had he not been there, had he not helped Count Chocula the right way, because he looks around his surroundings that he ended up like this, and he never turned to such means. Was he not there for his protege?
All right. And Toucan Slam. So as you close us out, also feel free to do your outro, and we'll go back through and do outros the normal way so I can end the stream.
Yeah, so Toucan Slam is pretty simple. Hearing about Mr. Wonderful and how sad that was, I never thought I would have slight feels during a serial-based one-shot, but thanks for that, Sable. Yeah, Toucan Slam's pretty simple. He sits down with Trix, tries to kind of patch things up, tells him to bring back the fruit shape cereal because nobody really wants puffs and it tasted better as fruit shapes, and then starts trying to talk him into a combination loop and fruit Trix cereal that they can make together. And then other than that, he just keeps going to the gym and staying buff. My quick outro before we go around for everyone else's is I'm Kohlrabi. I do a lot of streaming stuff on my own account and on TPK. So if you're interested, you can just click on my name in the chat. I'll say hi. And as well, after everyone else is done, I will go ahead and throw a raid, and we're actually going to raid Foundry VTT because they just started up a stream, and we've been loving Foundry lately, so stick around for that at the end. But that's it from me if we want to kick it back to Chrissy and then around.
Yes. So I'm Chrissy. I have been your GM for this wonderful adventure. I want to thank my players. I know a lot of you guys, this is your first time on stream with TPK. So welcome to the family. We're excited to have you guys. Shout out to everyone who popped in chat and the whole 9 yards. Especially I saw Kraken Dice in there and a couple of other folks. Thanks guys for coming by. You can find me all over at Chrissy Crits, especially in the TPK Discord. And we will go ahead and finish outros and then head over towards Foundry. Go ahead, Al.
Sure. Hey, folks. It was me all along. You thought it was the American Tiger. It was me. Ha! Fooled you all. Perfect. Well,
I
yeah,
had an
thanks very much for
inkling.
coming back again. It's Al the Biffer playing Tony the Tiger, the ridiculous Leonin Bard today. So if you fancy some more ridiculousness, more silly jokes, possibly some of these guys as well, then check out my Twitch channel here at twitch.tv/AlTheBiffer for more things. But otherwise, I've got a few bits with TPK coming up, so you can find me right here on TPK as well. In fact, I think the next Harper's episode, I may well be making my first appearance in that, so that's going to be jolly exciting. But otherwise, I'm part of the Destroyer of Worlds Aliens campaign, so if you fancy a bit of sci-fi, there's some of that. Part of the 55 Below horror campaign, survival in the Arctic with weird tentacle dinosaur aliens, and I believe Nazis popped in as well for a quick hello, as they are wont to. So lots and lots of weird bits and bobs going on. So if you like the way this went, well, perhaps more of that sort of thing. But I'll leave it there for today, and I'll hand over to Ben.
Hello, everyone. They call me Ben. I am They Call Him Ben on Twitch. I don't stream, but I do run a game on Madame Gandalf's channel, and you never know, I may be on this one again. This is my first time on TPK, so who knows what the future will hold. I am on Twitter as @BenCounter, like a shop counter. I'm on Instagram as Ben.counter, and I post nerdy stuff and pictures of my miniatures.
Wonderful. All right.
I don't have much to sell. I don't. This is my first time joining. It's been absolutely great. I've loved every second of this. So hopefully, if the right thing comes along, I'll be here again. Maybe, we don't know. Outside of this, you can tend to find me trying to ruin Al the Biffer's stream quite regularly. Just really disrupting everything there. You can find me on Twitter at GovRory, which that's about it for me. Sable.
Hey, thanks. Sable, first time on this channel. It was a pleasure. You guys were amazing. Chrissy, stupendous. Loved it. Greatest thing ever. Twitter at Sable Brave and Twitch at Sable Brave. I stream Monday to Friday. Mostly it's Pokemon, some Digimon, and on Retro Fridays I play games of your childhood. Ooh, what could it be? If you send me a message on Twitter, I might play it. My stream starts immediately after Al's, so watch him, and then come watch me.
Cool. Real quick, I tried to set up a giveaway, Kraken, for you since you so kindly offered. Streamlabs did not want it to happen, so it didn't work. But we have TPK Con coming up in July, so maybe we will have to talk someday. Appreciate you being in chat and offering, though. Someone in the Discord just shared the spring sale just last night, so definitely some fans in the community. But that is it from us here at TPK. We're gonna go say hi to Foundry. Any last words as we wave ourselves out? Anybody?
No.
We were here.
All right.
All right.
Tony.
Of course you did.
Thank you guys, and
Bye,
we'll see you
guys.
later.